science fiction, and
I've read a little bit.
he postulated a future where a psychologist, where in your office you'd have 7 or 8 different devices through which you could communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
And we
And
have that.
the
Mm-hmm.
psychiatrist was trying to give therapy to a person who'd been convicted because he went around and trashed all that stuff and didn't like the fact that all these devices were communicating with people. And the psychiatrists are trying to help him out to, get over it so that he could go back to live a normal life. And then the whole story is all about how the psychiatrist is getting deluged with like stuff from his ceiling speaker, from his telephone, from other his
Believe
intercom
that?
Oh,
and
that's
all that
funny.
stuff,
Who
thereby
who was it?
proving,
Ray
but
Ray
Ray
Bradbury?
Bradbury.
Ray
Oh,
Bradbury. And
he's
I
such
was
a good
talking to my
writer.
daughter about this, and she's got 4 screens that work with 8 windows on each one.
Do you
Oh,
believe
that's
that?
funny.
I was
And,
I was sad to hear of Sean Connery's passing today. That
Oh yes, I
oh
Oh,
was
no,
very unhappy.
really?
yeah,
really?
he
Oh
died. Sean
no.
Yep,
Connery died today at 90
he
years
was
old.
Oh
90
no.
years old.
Mm,
Yeah.
90 years old.
Oh.
Yep.
hmm
You know, he did a song of the Beatles on his tribute to George Martin, the
Oh.
producer. He did "In My Life," and he spoke it. I
What?
have it.
I think
Wow.
it's. I would say that it's better than William Shatner trying to sing.
Oh my God,
It's
yes.
better than
I
William
was
And
Shatner
George
trying to
Martin
do a
actually
even
lot of
told him,
things.
"Look, we'll scrap it if you don't think we should do it." And he was 72. That is George Martin. So we'll scrap it. He says, "Oh no, that's fine." And of course, he said, "There are places I remember," and all that. It was great. I've
I
got it.
was
Some
actually at the Opry the day Will Shatner was there. I have
Wow.
pictures of him
Oh, really?
standing on the
Can't
Opry
get in on the
stage.
Zoom call. I have to dial in.
Do you hear
I
it?
have it playing here if you want to be there, if you want to be here.
No, I want to be here.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
we can hear you guys.
there
Sure.
there are things that probably William Shatner
Don't
should not
flush
be
the
doing.
toilet, whatever you do.
Yeah, please.
Well, William Shatner did not sing on the Opry. He narrated. He
Whatever
did
you do.
speaking
I don't
while
think
other
William Shatner
people.
sings much. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh
No, he doesn't.
all
God,
like
Dave,
I heard him
imagine
do
him
a
singing.
song
Oh,
"Lucy in the Sky with
oh,
Diamonds."
Can you
Oh,
hear it now,
oh God,
Bob?
Curtis, no.
That was awful.
Wasn't that
Oh, it's no
awful?
worse than
Really? No,
Leonard
I
Nimoy
didn't know.
singing "Proud
Bob?
Mary."
Oh
You
no.
kidding?
No.
Bob?
Oh
now
my
now I'm gonna have to go
gosh.
look for some
Hi.
of that. I'm gonna
Can you
have
hear
just for
it?
the funsies.
Oh,
There's an
Of
album. What
course.
is it called? Golden Throats or something.
Golden Throat,
And you
Yes.
something
got
or other.
and you got
Yes.
people like Mae West trying to sing rock and
Oh
roll.
God.
Bob? Oh no. Bob,
And Phyllis
really?
Diller, have you ever heard her sing?
Uh,
Can
Phyllis
you hear
Diller
it?
said, "I can't get no satisfaction."
I
Yeah,
Hey
I still
guys,
think
is
it's
that
tough to
on
top
AT&T?
Mrs. Miller being bad.
I
It feels
think
like
so.
Oh
it's
Yeah.
tough.
God. I'm
Yeah,
referred to
but
her on
that
a local station in the Springs at the school for the blind, and I heard downtown.
Or Tiny Tim.
Oh, I
I'd
see. I
rather
actually
hear
kind of
him than
like that
Oh
Mrs.
Tiny Tim
Miller.
song. It's a guilty pleasure song. I'll admit it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of like it. But yeah,
Yeah, one of the Beatles' Christmas messages, Tiny Tim sings "Nowhere Man." That's I like Tiny
My
Tim.
parents actually paid money and dragged me to a huge concert to go see
Drag
Tiny
you.
Tim.
what?
I like
Did you
Tiny Tim.
did you like do something bad or get a failing grade in school? They wanted to punish you or
I know.
something?
I
Like
saw. I'm trying to figure out
Hi.
why I got dragged to that stupid
yeah, like what was
Tiny
that?
Tim. I first heard "Tip to the Tulips." I was out in the playground and heard it, and I was like, "Wow,
I've
yeah,
always
I like Tiny Tim."
opposed to the tulips.
Well,
Hey,
there's
hey, Neefeld. David, what's up?
Good morning,
Who's
Curtis.
Morning.
morning.
Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
Curtis, this is Amy from Minnesota. Bob would like to say hello to you.
You betcha.
Hi. Where's Bob Racebeck? Bob.
He's on the phone. He's on my cell phone.
Oh, well,
He can say hello. Can you guys hear him?
get him into the Zoom room. Why don't you?
I have him on my cell phone.
Yeah, but Bob can get into the Zoom room just by dialing the right number.
yeah.
Well, it's easier for me to do it this way. This way.
Oh,
I was on the phone with him talking to him.
The likelihood of us
Oh.
hearing him isn't very high, however.
Can you
we're
hear him?
up to
No,
no.
51.
we're not going to
He
either.
can hear you guys. He just wanted to say hi to you guys.
Hello.
Hello.
If you put
Hello.
your phone on speakerphone and hold it to whatever microphone, we might be able to hear it.
We might, yeah.
He just said to say hello to you, Curtis, because he.
I'll say hello to Robert and tell him I plan to virtually go to most of the Minnesota convention. I just paid my money, $10 they charge in Minnesota, you guys in Colorado, so be grateful.
I know New York charged $10 and I paid it last week too.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Curtis,
Yeah.
Curtis, there's a reason because It's because of the anniversary, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I was at New York. I went to New York last week.
I'll show
And
up
you
for
know you
most
should
of
be glad.
Minnesota.
Good
I'm
with
looking
this,
forward
sorry.
to it. You guys
I
rock
got you.
over there, let me tell you.
Right.
But I still think Colorado's better
Oh,
I agree.
because we
Completely.
can
I'm
vote.
biased because I'm from here.
We
Of
can
course.
vote accessibly.
Curtis, are
Yay,
you
yay.
retired now?
I'm retired now. Yeah.
Is that why you're in Colorado?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And our daughter Tina, she lives here too.
See, I was right, Bob.
But she's 3
Oh,
miles away. We don't
God.
hardly ever see her. So there.
Colorado's awesome, Curtis.
Yes, I like
Of course
Colorado.
it
You
is.
picked the right place to go for sure.
I agree. I totally do.
He sure did.
The one thing is it's a lot easier to get good meat here.
You bet it is.
Not
And
like
we have better transit.
Yeah,
Curtis.
better transit is also good.
Hey,
But Minnesota has good transit too.
Only in the
not as
cities,
good
girl.
as Colorado.
Yes.
Only in the cities.
Yes, I know that.
Colorado's
And
better.
definitely
Hey, hang on
Colorado
a
has better weather.
I've
That's
been up to the
true. It
range. I
certainly
know how
does.
bad it is up there.
Except
Hey,
Colorado doesn't have lutefisk.
We're good. We're good.
And
We're okay with
that
that.
No,
is a
that we
good
don't.
thing.
Hold
We're
on,
okay
folks.
with
Curtis, Curtis,
Yes, sir.
you can hear me?
I can.
How does this sound?
You
Good.
know, whatever you did on the other machine was still better.
Really?
It's as good as it
That's
was yesterday, what you're doing now.
Can you hear
I
Scott,
think it
Mr.
sounds
Bob?
But
Absolutely
you need to be
wonderful.
able to project, and
Yeah.
you're not projecting now, just to let you know.
Hi, Curtis. Yeah,
Hey.
the other machine was
This
better,
is
man.
Phyllis.
Hey, Phyllis.
I
Hi.
finally
Hey, Phyllis.
figured it out.
Yes, you did. And you didn't need
Well,
my
I don't-
help either, which I think is great.
Uh,
Scott, try again.
Well, my daughter was helping too, so
I don't have time
gets
to.
the credit.
screw.
Now
If you
it
get
sounds
closer
better.
to the mic, you're
That's
good.
better.
But you're on video also, which is
Sounds
kind
good. I'm trying to get YouTube on it.
I'm
I
not on
am.
video
Hey guys,
yet.
if you guys could all chill out for a little bit,
Good
Scott
morning.
really does
Yeah,
need to work
Scott
out
needs
some
to do an
stuff.
audio test, you guys. So hang on, please. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
I said I don't think I'm on video yet, but hold on one sec here. How does hold on.
It says video off.
Yeah. Okay, how does this sound?
Same.
Right.
Volume is lower than normal. I'd like it to go
Really?
up higher.
That's weird.
I really want you to be like up.
Scott, your last transmission was echoey more than before.
Yeah. Well,
God, it sounds like you're speaking from a cup.
a cup.
Yeah, it sounds like you
It's
have
that
a
cup
and
with the
paper.
pencils in it that he's got right there. Yeah, the your other computer or the other mic projected you much better. And being an audio kind of a person, I'm.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah. Try bringing it up some more.
Well, I can't.
Oh
Well,
damn.
oh wait, actually, hold on. I can.
Okay.
I got too many things going on.
Oh man, we're gonna have to say thanks to Kim Ann Wardlow and Audio Information Network of Colorado because they donated $100 to the 6 Dot Dash.
Oh, good for them. Cool.
And I encourage everybody to go take the survey. They want to know
I did.
how they can move into the 21st century, and I
Tried.
think that's a good thing. You know, they, for example, now enable people to listen to their stuff on a Dot or Echo, Amazon
Yay.
Echo, which is pretty good.
That's a
How did
step.
it-
However, when I went to apply to receive services, I gave her some feedback about how hard it was to find the place where you could actually apply.
Curtis,
Yes, sir. Oh, much better.
is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. All right,
Whole lot
folks. In just a minute, we're going to get underway.
You don't think he's peeking a little?
Sorry, I have to put you on. Hold on.
Paul can do the master
Yes,
mute
you
thing
do.
when Scott gives him the high sign, and I do have a track ready to roll.
You have a track ready.
You know the crowd thing. The
Oh,
buzz
okay.
Thing. I
Well,
do
why
that.
don't we mute everybody and get ready to go?
Okay,
Do we have
here
John
go.
Prey? John Prey.
I'm here. Did I come off mute?
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
So, yeah. All right.
Okay, Paul, do the mute all thing.
So this sounds better, Curtis?
Yes.
All right. So the new mic is better than the old mic, except maybe the old computer is better than, I don't know.
Is that a
Tell
new,
me how I sound.
is that USB connected to your machine?
Yeah, they're both USB mics.
I will tell you that
You
the old
sound good to
computer
me, Mo.
definitely did better.
Okay, thanks.
What's that, Gers?
The old computer definitely was better. Or
Weird.
the
Well,
other-
maybe I'll swap it out at lunchtime and I'll do
yeah,
a test
yeah.
with you, but I'm not going to mess
You're
with it
okay
now.
now.
All right. All right. And Mo, you're doing door prizes today, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, let's get underway, folks. Good morning. The Live the Lives We Want session number 2 is now in order. There is my adoring, loving crowd. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We got to start the morning with a door prize. What do you say, Mo?
Hello, how's everybody doing? I hope well.
Better if you give me a prize.
I can try. I don't know. So we have $50 from our host chapter, a $50 gift card, and that will go to Logan Neatfield.
Logan! Is Maureen here? If the parents are here, Logan wins. Uh-oh. Maureen. Maureen.
David's here.
David?
Hi.
You guys just won
All right.
$50. Tell Logan about it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you can get
Give
some more
him some
Legos.
of it.
Yeah. He should get a couple pieces of candy out of it at least.
Toy shopping, toy shopping.
Oh, yeah.
So Scott, can I just make a general announcement real quick? So when you
you can, but can
Mo
you
needs
get
to a lot
louder?
closer to your mic.
all right, how's that?
Much better.
Yes.
All right, cool. So when you hear door prizes, people need to get ready to unmute themselves using *6 or Alt-A or the unmute button on the iPhone app or other means. And we need you to raise your hand. So that's going to be *9 or Alt-Y or Option Y or under the More button on your iPhone. So, I'm hoping everybody can be prepared to get in and get your door prizes.
All right. Well, today we've got a full agenda, as you see. In the afternoon, we are going to be taking up resolutions in our elections, and we'll be voting. If you registered before or on or before October 13th, and you gave us your voting phone number, and you are a member of the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado, you will be eligible to vote. 160 people completed that process. Over 320 or 30 registered, but about half, I guess you'd say, are eligible to vote. And we'll do some test votes this morning. Kevin Kovacs, are you out there by chance somewhere, Kevin? I will work with him to set up a vote. For example, who do the Broncos play this weekend? Well, maybe we'll do a vote about who's going to win. I don't know who they play. I guess
Chargers.
Who? Chicago?
Chargers.
No.
Chargers. All right, so they're playing the Chargers. So we're going to set up a vote at some point this morning about who you think is going to win the Broncos game, Broncos or Chargers. And maybe we'll have other fun votes like that. But let's turn now to our national report. It really gives me great pleasure, and it's an honor to introduce once again to you our national representative, John Perret. He serves as Executive Director of Advocacy and Policy for the National Federation of the Blind. And he does just a tremendous job of representing our interests, not only on the hills, on the Hill in Washington, on Capitol Hill, but all over the country. In fact, not only in the country, but all throughout the world. John has spent a lot of time working on the standards for quiet vehicles, electric and hybrid vehicles, so that we can still detect them when we're out there in the world. And that's why I have titled his remarks, transforming our dreams into reality in America and all throughout the world, because the work we do in the National Federation of the Blind is not only here in the United States, but all throughout the world in so many ways. Not only do the laws that we pass here, the kind of programs that we develop, get copied and implemented in other countries, we work on international laws and standards to change the world for blind people, to make our lives better. I, of course, was involved with the Marrakesh Treaty, and I am still involved with implementing it. In fact, now the treaty is in effect in over 101 countries now. So we're slowly growing that community, and one day I hope the treaty's in force in all of the world's countries. We're going to get there. All right, so without further ado, and get ready, Curtis, let's have a huge, warm Colorado welcome for our national rep, Mr. John G. Pare Jr. They love you, John. They love you.
That's so nice. All right. Good morning, Colorado. It is so great to be speaking with you. Thank you, Scott, for that warm welcome. I want to compliment the leadership and you, especially in the NFB of Colorado. Not only, of course, that you're the president, but you're also the president of the National Association of Blind Lawyers. You are a PAC chairman. And we wouldn't have really the Marrakesh Treaty if it hadn't been the work that you did, both in Marrakesh, trips to Geneva, and making that happen. And really in the United States, we wrote the implementing legislation in a number of relatively torturous meetings. And it was Scott's perseverance that made that happen. And it was way back when we only had a handful of countries that were had signed on, and it wasn't really sure that the thing would actually ever happen. So, but the National Federation of Blind, led by Scott in that area, really made a difference. Hats off to you, Scott, and to the whole Colorado affiliate. I want to say that President Riccobono also sends his welcome. He would love to be there. It's be here, be on Zoom, or be there in person if we could just be in person. We are having almost all our state conventions, our affiliate conventions in the fall, because all the ones, about maybe half that normally would have happened in the spring, got bumped to the fall, and then the normal fall one. So many weekends we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 affiliate conventions happening. So President Riccobono is very busy doing these every single weekend. I know that several times he'll jump from one to another, which is kind of fun. We couldn't do that if we were in the physical world, but in the virtual world, he's able to pop around. I think one time he jumped from the Alaska, it might have been the Alaska and Hawaii convention were happening at the same time, or at least two that were very distant. So he sends his warm welcomes, but I'm thrilled to be representing him. All right, I want to go through a number of items. Let's start first with the biggest thing happening this Tuesday, November 3rd. It's Election Day. I want to just urge everyone to vote. And after you do vote, maybe you already have voted, or when you do vote, please complete our survey. If you go to nfb.org/vote, you can complete our voter survey. We can really do probably a longitudinal study that has to do with comparing multiple years, because we've been doing this now for quite some time, asking the same questions and have a lot of information. So we want to keep that up. So please do that. We'll also be running the voter hotline. So if people encounter a problem on Election Day in Colorado, if you hear of anyone across the country, to please call our hotline, or after you vote to please fill out our survey. Keep in mind that the presidential release, now we've been doing this quite a few times and we have several in a row now. The President Riccobono has been doing his typical presidential release that normally would have been distributed electronically, is now happening live, usually on the exact first of the month, which at 8 p.m. He will be doing that tomorrow, because it'll be November 1st, at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and again on December 1st. So certainly tune into that. I know he has a lot of interesting information queued up. If you're thinking, well, I didn't really know about that, then one of the things you have to do, or I urge you to do, is to sign up for one of our listservs. If you go to NFBnet, just one word, nfbnet.org, so it would be www.nfbnet.org, you might sign up for a number of listservs. We have well over 100, all sorts of special interest listservs. Some are very active, some are less active. But one of the things, the benefits of being on at least one listserv is when we send these occasional emails, I'll say it's about maybe once a week, so it's not going to flood your inbox. We send important bulletins to all listservs. And so, and things like the upcoming presidential release would have been on all listservs, probably the some of the voter hotline information and other things would have been on all listservs. Some of the things dear to my heart is the legislative alerts sometimes are going to all listservs, but we'll talk more about that. But that's a very important way to keep up to date. All right, as far as maybe we're talking about keeping up to date, how about our Braille calendars? If you want to get a 2021 Braille calendar, we are working with the Action Fund. If you go to www.actionfund, all one word, .org, actionfund.org, you can order for free Braille calendars that will be shipped to you for free. I believe you can order up to 5 for your area or for your residents. And they're really terrific. They have a lot of good information on them, upcoming holidays and so forth. So you might want to get one of our free Braille calendars. The Braille Readers Are Leaders contest is about to begin. That begins on December 1st and it runs through January 18th. You get awards for reading different amounts of Braille pages. There's different age groups and other things. It's a great way to have fun reading Braille for a variety of different age groups. You might also want to make sure you have on your calendar that the National Convention is coming up in New Orleans. Hopefully it will be in person. I don't have any particular predictions on that right this moment, but we have a fantastic location at a Marriott, New Orleans, July 6th through July 11th. And there'll be information that will be occurring in the Braille Monitor is probably one of the best places to keep track of that. Or if you go to nfb.org/convention. A couple more date-oriented announcements. The scholarships, the National Federation of Blind runs the largest scholarship program for blind college students probably anywhere in the world. Applications for those are due by March 31st, the end of March 2021. Information is available on that on our website. Another very significant, it's not exactly a scholarship, it is an award to honor people who have made a significant contribution in the field of blindness. This is either individuals or organizations, and it's named after Jacob Balatin, the first blind doctor. And those applications are due by April 15th, 2021. Information about the scholarships or the Jacob Balatin Award are available on our website. Similar deadline is the Jernigan Convention Scholarships, April 15th, 2021. Attending, I think just about everyone would say, certainly for me was the case, attending my first national convention of the National Federation of Blind was life-changing. And getting people to national convention, to their first national convention is one of our critical things that we try to do. And it's something that Dr. Jernigan really believed in. And we have the scholarship named after him to help first-time convention attendees afford the cost to attend national convention. Those applications for Jernigan Scholarship are due also by April 15th, 2021. The membership, we have the sorry, my notes weren't perfect there. Okay, I'm going to come back to membership in a second. All right, the code of conduct. All right, we have really believed through and through about the importance of our code of conduct, and specifically the diversity and inclusion, which is section 2 of our code of conduct. If you haven't read it, I urge you to do so. There's a link to it from every single page of our website to try to help show you that it's not something we bury. It's on our homepage. It's on actually there's a link to it from every page on our website. President Riccobono has talked about it extensively in the past 2 banquet speeches. So it's something we believe and we want to live every day. So if you haven't looked at our code of conduct, or specifically the diversity inclusion section, section 2, suggest that you go to our website and any page and click on the link. We have, in order to help people learn more about the NFB and potentially join the NFB, we now have quarterly open house conference calls, Zoom calls, where you can ask the questions that maybe you heard, maybe that the National Federation of Blind doesn't like this, or doesn't this, or they're too radical with this. And you can ask these questions in a friendly and educational environment. And we welcome you to challenge us on certain things and ask us the questions and ask them if these rumors, are they really true, and talk to our leadership. So it's something I think is really helping to recruit new members. They're quarterly open house calls. We do restrict how many people can be on them so we can have some real engagement, usually about 15 or so people. That we find, if we have more than that, we can't have the individual conversation, I think, and have people really ask the hard questions and have the discussion that we're looking for. If you know somebody who would like to attend one of these, all they need to do is email membership@nfb.org, the word membership@nfb.org. We'll tell you when the next one is and send you the Zoom link and so forth, and the folks can attend. So it's really something I think very worthwhile that was created by Jeannie Massey, our chair of our membership committee, and she certainly is on those calls. You might not realize that we do have public service announcements, PSAs, in both English and Spanish. These are radio PSAs. They're on our website, nfb.org/PSAS, PSAs. So PSAS. I don't think I said it first. So nfb.org/PSAS. And English and Spanish, 30-second PSAs. We have emailed through a service we have. They actually donated this to us to email these PSAs or links to the PSAs, I think to every radio station in the United States. But it really makes a difference if you reach out to your local station. It will make much more impact. You might want to just go first and listen to them yourself. I've done that. They're terrific. And then you can email links to your local radio station and urge them to play them. I think it makes a big difference. It can help us get both the membership and possibly donations, and at least, or just help change the image of what people think of blind people, and let people know that our goal is to be able to live the lives we want. In terms of I want to mention some model legislation. Hats off to the NFB of Colorado, because we do tout our parental rights legislation that we've passed in about a dozen states. I agree with Scott. I think probably the strongest parental rights legislation enacted in the country is in Colorado. I believe that the Colorado bill is in fact our model bill. So you've done a terrific job in that area, and we're working to move that out to other states right now. I know we got to talk to the senator who helped make that happen, and that was really neat for me to be able to talk to that person last night. We have on some toolkits that we've been creating for self-advocacy that are on our website for you to point college students to. It's a great place to begin, along with talking to NFB leadership. If they think they're getting actually to needing a legal action, maybe talking to Valerie Yingling, I'll give out her information in a minute, but our higher education toolkit is something that you should point students to if they're encountering problems in college in terms of accessibility. The next, let's talk about our legal coordinator, Valerie Yingling. I'm going to mention her name several times coming up, so I want to mention her extension. Our phone number is 410-659-9314, extension 2440. And a lot of the information that I'm going to mention now in a second can be found at nfb.org/legal. nfb.org/legal. The first is the work that we've done. President Riccobono, over the last 6 months has really gotten a lot of requests about concerns regarding the right of blind people to vote privately and independently. We have given legal help, sometimes in terms of legal advice, sometimes in terms of demand letters, sometimes in terms of actual legal action in 17 states. So we have been very busy on the legal front, helping to make sure that we preserve the rights of blind Americans to be able to vote privately and independently, both from their polling place, but also from their home, which is what we need to do during this COVID-19 timeframe. We would like to get, on the legal front, more information about any discrimination of employees. If you try to work at an Amazon fulfillment center and you're encountering discrimination as a blind people in terms of your employment, please let Valerie know. Please call her and talk to her. We're also looking for anyone that might have, because we've had some people call and talk about it, and we want to see how widespread it is, problems with the GoDaddy service in terms of websites, GoDaddy. So if you've had problems with that, please let us know. Also with the job search engines and pre-employment screening. Some of this appears to be set up to specifically, especially the pre-employment screening, is possibly screening out people who are using screen reading software, things like JAWS. That's discriminatory, it's illegal, and we want to know if you think that's happened to you. Please contact Valerie. And last there's two more also in the area of telehealth. If you've had any concerns with that, it's happened more and more, and the need for the telehealth has gone up. We expect that to be happening a lot over this winter time frame, potentially as COVID-19 and the flu and other things get worse. So if you're having any problem with accessibility in telehealth, please let Valerie know. We are conducting a couple of legal-oriented surveys. One is if you have encountered, you've moved out of employment and you've had denial of unemployment benefits. We had a lawsuit in Louisiana, and this past year we had at our national convention, just a couple of months ago at our national convention, a resolution regarding this. This is in Louisiana. Association of the Blind had someone who worked there, and they lost their job due to COVID-19. Lo and behold, they'd been using this obscure loophole not to pay the person to cover them with unemployment insurance. So now they didn't have a job and they didn't have unemployment insurance. This is horrible. And it's something we need to really expose. We did have a lawsuit. We lost that lawsuit, at least in the district court, due to this obscure loophole. And we're trying to pursue that with further legal action and possibly try to plug the hole from a legislative point of view. In terms of also, we're continuing to want to complete the survey with your guide dog user or not a guide dog user with respect to, or if you've had a good or bad experience, both good and bad, with Uber and Lyft and guide dogs. It's very important and part of our settlement that we keep that survey going and keep that up to date. I know we've been doing this for a while, so maybe people are slowing down on completing it. That's not good. We need to keep that up. So I urge you, if you do use an Uber or Lyft with a guide dog, whether your experience is good or bad, but of course, particularly if it's bad, to record that using our survey. All right, I want to talk for a minute about some of our legislative activities. You've been doing a great job there in Colorado, getting co-sponsors on many of our primary bills. The Access Technology Affordability Act, I know you have 3 members, state House of Representatives on that. That is Jason Crow, Diana DeGette, who's quite senior, and Joe Neguse. Hope I said that right, Neguse. In fact, Joe is on almost all of our bills. So whoever is in that district, hats off to you for getting him, I think maybe on all 3 or 4 of our primary bills. All right, so let me talk for a minute about the first one there. Access Technology Affordability Act. For a quick reminder, that bill would create a $2,000 refundable tax credit for use over a 3-year period for people who are legally blind as defined in the IRS code, and for the purchase of access technology. So this could be things like JAWS or refreshable braille displays or braille embossers or other things of that nature that you could use. We have 130 plus co-sponsors, and we anticipate that I don't think we're going to get a pass this year, but we're going to finish strong and keep trying. But let's say for the moment we don't, we're going to get it reintroduced as quickly as possible in January in the House and the Senate, and we're going to really take up exactly where we left off. And we are so close to getting this passed with over 132 co-sponsors in the House, 26 in the Senate, extremely bipartisan, well liked by the committee chairs and leadership. You heard Speaker Pelosi talk about it, but you also have great Republican support over, especially in the Senate, with top senators supporting it. So I really do think we can get this either passed in the tail end of this year or by starting very strong in the next year. Next, the Greater Accessibility and Independence Through Non-Visual Technology Act. This would help create accessibility in 3 areas: medical equipment, really home-based medical equipment, exercise equipment, and home appliances. So all 3 things, particularly needed in this COVID-19 timeframe where we're all spending more time at home. We really need to get that moving. We never did get a Senate co-sponsor, so we really have to reapply extra effort in the next Congress to try to get that moving. So that would be the plan. The Transformation of Competitive Employment Act. This is to phase out and eliminate Section 14C. That's in the House and the Senate. I think that we recently sent a letter to every member of Congress, all 535 of them, from President Riccobono, describing the United States Commission on Civil Rights report, which states that they recommend that Section 14C be phased out and eliminated. We also have that's the USCCR report. There's 2 different NCD reports, National Council on Disabilities, that say that 14C should be phased out and eliminated. And the WIOA report, Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, they created a commission to study this, and they recommended that. So no matter what, whether there's a congressional committee or a congressional commission said to phase it out, the premier government agency to advise Congress on disability said to phase it out, the premier government agency on civil rights in the United States said to phase it out, and of course, the National Federation of Blind says we need to phase it out. The use of 14C continues to go down, so I'm optimistic that the 117th Congress, this could be it for us. And this is being combined with a report that came out just a couple weeks ago also from the National Council on Disability, but this one on the Ability One program. That report said that the Ability One program now has become a relic of the past. And that it should be phased out over an 8-year program because of its lack of integration and lack of competitive wages. That if you have, I won't go into that more detail than that. I'll say that there'll be an article coming up in the Braille Monitor that talks a lot about that. So you might want to watch for that coming up. And we keep working on accessible instructional material in higher education to make sure that schools know exactly what they need to do to make their learning processes accessible. All right, moving now away from legislation to some of our other programs that we're doing. The STEM to You is a program that we're doing 2 sessions this fall. One's already occurred, one's coming up. It's in 15 states. I'm happy to say one of them is Colorado. That's going very well. That's in people's homes. We're working on career mentoring. If you would like to get more involved in the career mentoring, I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a second, but we only have that currently in 3 states. Colorado is not one of them yet. If you'd like to get more involved in our whole career mentoring program that we have organized, folks can talk to Maurice Perret. He's at extension 2350. The Bell program continues to do extremely well. This is our 12th year. We haven't had it in 26 states. We still had it this year. You know, it was really about 6 weeks before we were going to start the first Bell program. We realized that doing it in person was just not going to be possible. And so we had to quickly scramble to come up with the plan for how we would potentially do that at home, which we did. Working with all of you, we came up with a whole way of doing this at home, in your home. We have sent out a 7-pound box of material, learning material, tactile material, and other things to 280 students. I haven't done the arithmetic, but it seems like that must be like a ton of, literally a ton of material to do that. I did attend the final Zoom graduation, and that was really exciting. It was very clear from the students that it was a beneficial experience that occurred throughout the country. So hats off to everyone who was involved in that. If you have companies that they come to you and say, I want to do more to have accessibility of my website. You know, we do have a place on our web that you should point them to. It's called our accessibility switchboard. So I want to call that out to you. Our accessibility switchboard on our website is where people can go to learn more about how to make their website accessible. NFB Newsline. NFB Newsline, I know, is alive and well and strong in Colorado. It's that way in almost all of the country. We have 500 publications, English and Spanish language content, weather alerts. I know the weather in Colorado can be so unpredictable, so you guys probably rely on the weather alerts quite a bit. Magazines, the job listings, the TV listings, and then you can get it through so many different ways. Whereas I used to originally rely on a regular touch-tone phone. It's been a long time, ever since the app came out. I personally use the app. I love the app. And we've even incorporated the KNFB Reader Basic into the app. So anywhere you have, when you have KNFB Reader, when you have your Newsline app, the first page is sort of your favorites list. The second page lets you get, or second tab lets you get to every different publication and different methods. The third page is suddenly you just swipe over and you're in the KNFB Reader Basic. You can snap a picture and have it read to you. And then the fourth tab is some settings information. So it really allows you to move quickly. There also is some shortcuts that were sort of built-in searches having to do with voting information. And we have built-in searches having to do with COVID-19. So if you haven't looked at that, those are fantastic, including on the COVID-19. We have the Johns Hopkins data statistics, which can be a bear to try to go through those tables on a website or your phone. but going through it on Newsline is really very, very convenient. So I use it a lot to keep up to date on that. The independence market is open. We have not yet got the online ordering back up and running. I think that's going to be hopefully early in 2021, but you can order over the phone. We'll help describe things to you and so forth. So if you're interested in anything, especially any kind of gift, I jump on that because I think the mail will get bogged down this year. At least that's what the newspaper articles say that I read. So you might want to note the independence market is open and accepting your orders, but it needs to be over the phone. On a little bit about fundraising, PAC. Now, knowing that you have our esteemed PAC chairman as your affiliate president, I'm not going to try to go into too much of that, except to say that, you know, all these programs that I've been talking about wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the PAC program and the money that it helps raise, the legal efforts that we do, the efforts we do to create programs that then can be duplicated across the country, things like the Bell program or the STEM to You and other things. So the PAC program is really important, and I'm thrilled that Colorado leads by example in that area. Green Drop, just to let you know, is a program. It's only available in a couple of states, 7 states. It's where you can drop off gently used clothes, and we help, you know, that raises money for us. It's doing well in the states that we have it. Maryland is one of them. And we're hoping to, the company that we work with, we're hoping to expand it. On vehicle donations, we do accept, we work with a company to do donated vehicles in every state in the country. So that's everywhere. And we do pretty well raising money with that. So keep that in mind if you or you know someone who has a vehicle that they might want to donate. Dream Makers Circle is a planned gift. So this is when you pass away, that you could give money to the National Federation of Blind. I personally participate. One of my brokerage accounts is set up where the NFB is a designated beneficiary. It's a great way to give back to the organization. So, so you might want to consider that. If you don't get the Braille Monitor, you should. It is our flagship publication. It has some really good articles. You know, we have other places which have shorter, more time-sensitive content. The Braille Monitor tends to have more thorough, longer articles that provide more analysis and depth of coverage. And so there's really no substitute for it. You should definitely be reading the Braille Monitor. It has some just really terrific material. The last thing that I'm going to mention is we also have an academic journal if people want to look at that. It's the Journal of Blindness Innovation and Research. This is peer-reviewed academic material. That it's our journal. It's published on the web, usually I think twice a year. And that is my maybe not so quick summary of activity happening at the national level. So Scott, back to you.
All right, John. Thank you so much for that tremendous report. Let's hear it up for John Perret. Thank you, John. Thank you. The crowd loves you. They're going wild. Oh, they're throwing their hats. They love you, John.
Terrific.
Thank you for all of that. And, you know, what I want to say about PAC is tonight at the banquet, we are going to be spending a little time talking about PAC. And I hope I can convince you either to get on the PAC plan or to raise your pledge. Colorado is #2 in the country. We're way ahead of #3, but we're way behind #1. And someday before I shuffle off this mortal coil of mine, I want to get ahead of Maryland. So I plan to be alive for another 50 years or so. We got about 50 years to do it. But, you know, Maryland's like, I don't know, John, I don't know if you have the stats right with you, but Maryland's like, you know, $5,800 a month. And we're about $3,900 if my memory serves. I have the exact statistics in my Braille sense here somewhere. But you know, we've got some work to do, but I firmly believe we can put Maryland in the dust someday. How do you feel about that, John?
I think it's something you should try to do. I think it's an ambitious. I think that's an ambitious effort, but you should try. But we're not stopping where we are either. So we're working to move even further ahead. So
but I bet you by the time we get to Washington Summit, you have your state convention coming up. What in November?
Yeah, next weekend. This coming weekend.
Oh, next weekend. Oh, I would. Well, I'm going to try to drop into some of it, although I'm repping the Ohio convention. But I wonder if Maryland can get past 6,000 a month.
Well, I mean, do you want to make a little wager on which is going to do better?
Yeah. Oh, let's do that. Let's see which affiliate does better at their convention in terms of raising their PAC pledge. We'll figure out exactly where each affiliate is, and the affiliate that goes up the most. If Maryland goes up the most, John, I'll buy you dinner whenever we can sup together again, and then vice versa.
All right, that's very fair.
You've all heard it, right? Right. Okay. So the bet is on. Now, if you want Paray to buy me dinner, then we've got to get busy on the PAC plan, folks. And if you want to do a little homework, you can go, and you can start right now. You can go to nfb.org//PAC, PAC, and either raise your pledge there or start a new one. Now, if you're starting a new one, we will need to get your financial information. One of our friendly members of our fiscal services staff will call you to collect the information. We don't yet have a way of putting the financial information in that form. We're setting it up. That's going to happen before next year's convention, but we don't have it quite yet. So if you're starting a new pledge, one of our friendly fiscal team members will call you and get the credit card, debit card, checking account number, however it is you want to start your PAC plan. But if you're already on the plan and you tell us through that form that you want to increase, we can take care of that because we already have your financial information. So, Monique Melton, are you out there or sleeping again?
Sleeping? Who does that?
Hey, Mo, how about a big door prize for John G. Paray?
All right. So we have $25 and another mini treat box from La Bella Baskets. And we are going to give that to Michaela Gebhardt.
Michaela Gebhardt, former CCB student. I don't know where she is now. Where does Michaela live? Are you out there, Michaela? Raise your hand, unmute yourself, jump up and down. Or call our help desk at 970-673-6998. Are you out there this morning, Cody? Cody.
I am out here this morning.
And is your phone ringing?
It is not ringing yet.
Oh.
Everybody must have figured out the convention platform so far, but if you get stuck with something and don't know what to do, give me a call and I'll be happy to help.
Awesome. So draw again, Mo. I don't think Michaela is tuned in at the moment.
I don't think so. How about Brittany Savage?
Oh, she better be.
She better be. She might still be sleeping though.
Yeah, probably. Brittany, are you out there? Raise your hand.
She is here.
I am.
Yay! Say something,
I finally
Brittany.
won.
You won. You won.
It took 6 years. I won.
Well, great. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad, at least with respect to this prize, we kept it in state. What the heck? All right. Let's see. Oh, now yesterday I meant to get to another one of our sponsors, our great gold sponsors. The company is Spectrum. And I believe, Peter, you're going to be here and speak a little bit about Spectrum and what's going on. Are you on the line right now?
Hi, Scott. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Peter Cucciarve, tell us all about Spectrum in a few minutes.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. And thank you, John, for that great speech from the national office. It's always great to hear about the work that's being done to advance and promote the independence for people who are blind. And I love hearing that. And, you know, we all play a role in that effort. Certainly at Spectrum, we see ourselves as leaders in the telecom industry at doing the same. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. I know a lot of you are probably wondering to yourself, why in the world does Spectrum keep sponsoring this convention? This is not really a Spectrum market. And you're right, I myself live in Comcast territory. And unless you're out there in Grand Junction, we might have a couple people that have Spectrum. And I'd love to connect with you if you want to learn more about all the accessibility products and services that we offer. But today I want to hit on one. First, I want to answer that question. We sponsor this convention because this is my home convention. So anything I can ever do each year to make sure that we're sponsoring the work of the NFB of Colorado, I'm going to find a way to do it. And secondly, this year, we actually do have something to share that all of you can take advantage of. And that's something called Spectrum Access. So Spectrum Access is a mobile application that you can download to your iPhone, and hopefully by the end of the year, your Android if you're using those. And you can get audio description on the go. So this is a first time for a company, you know, in the telecommunications space to be releasing something specific to audio description. But you know, a lot of people were asking us, how come our cable providers are not able to give us more audio description? And the answer is always the same. We're really the middleman. We stand between the companies, or rather the customers, and the network providers or the studios. And so unless they're passing along the audio description to us, we can't pass it through to our customers. And so we decided to circumvent that, get a little creative. We started an innovations section of our team early this year, and this was the first product to come out of that project. And it is free, absolutely free. There's no ads or anything like that. It's not a monetized app. It's unauthenticated, which means you don't have to have credentials to get into it. Just type in Spectrum Access in the App Store, download it, and begin using it. So we've got about a little over 500 either movies or episodes in there that you can choose from now. Hopefully by the end of the year, which we're about 2 months away from that, you'll have about 1,000 either television shows or movies inside of the app that you can select from. So, and we're hoping to just keep exponentially growing that. We've got some really great relationships with our studio partners, and we're able to get that out to you quickly. So I want to encourage you, download the app, use it, give it a rating. The truth is that the more of you that download this app, the more people we have using this app, the more leverage we have to take up with our studio partners to tell them, look, this is how many people are using, and depending on this app, we need more content. And the content sort of snowballs into the positive direction there. We have no plans to monetize this app. It's absolutely a gift to the community and anyone even outside of the Spectrum market. So it's a passion of our team. It was a passion project. We love to be talking about that all year this year. So I want to encourage you, download the app. Let us know what you think about it. If you have any questions or accessibility feedback, Spectrum Access at charter.com. That's Spectrum Access at charter.com is the email to write. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate the time.
Well, Peter, thank you so much. And I did not know about this app, so I'm definitely going to check it out because, you know, it's sort of interesting where we've come on the issue of audio description. At first, many years ago, I didn't think it was all that necessary, or it wasn't a life-changing thing for me, maybe because there wasn't much of it. I don't know, but ultimately, I've discovered that there is quite a bit out there now, and it's really it's very helpful in many instances, and I've really come to enjoy it and kind of search for it where it's possible. And this, this effort, this initiative by Spectrum will only increase our access to such things because sometimes you've got to pay a lot of money to get access to movies or whatever. And if you're lucky, it might be audio described. But anyway, thank you so much, Peter. Thank you not only for the new initiative, the gift to the community, as you called it, but just the sponsorship and the support. And I'm sorry that we used to know you as Charter, and I guess parts of you are probably still called Charter. But we don't have Charter cable here. But if we did, I'm sure many of us would be using it because, it's accessible and other services are as well. But it's just great the work you're doing, Peter. Thank you so much. And for those who don't know, Peter really is one of our guys. He came to us at the Colorado Center for the Blind as a student. And then for a long time worked at our center. He worked with my wife in the seniors program. And now they're both gone from the seniors program. Peter, how long have you been at Spectrum or Charter or whatever?
Just about 3 years now. And just to say something about that, Scott, I really owe a huge debt of gratitude, and it's why I keep coming back to the NFB of Colorado and CCB, because I really found a home there. So I owe a big debt of gratitude to all the staff over there at the Colorado Center for the Blind. Hats off to all of you, and just loved working with people like Anna Heat and Julie Deaton and Duncan Larson and the whole crew out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Peter. So Kevin Kovacs, are you out there this morning?
Can we get the name of that app again? That ran by really quick, and I'll bet you I'm not the only one who didn't get to write it down.
Sure, absolutely. It's Spectrum Access.
Okay. And I am here, yes.
So Kevin, I don't know if you heard earlier, but I, in a little while, want to do a vote.
Okay.
And we're going to ask people who's going to win Sunday's football game, the Broncos or the Chargers.
All right.
So after we do the library report here, if we can have that ready to go.
Yes, sir.
And can you remind us of the phone number that people either text or dial?
All right. Let me pull it right here. All right.
I know I've got it here somewhere too.
Everybody, take this number down. It's a 719-496-8738. You can either call or text. If you text, you just put in the digit 1 or 2, or if there's multiple answers, you do more than that. But there's only gonna be 2 on this one.
Or you can text the word Broncos, or who was the other team?
Chargers.
Chargers. You had to spell it right.
Again, the number is 719-496-8738.
All right, so we'll try that for all of you that are registered to vote after the following item. Keeping our public library open and thriving during the pandemic. I regard our Talking Book library, our Talking Book program, as our public library. Of course, there are other sources publicly available of accessible materials, but the NLS program really was the first and is by far the most influential in our lives. And every year we get a report from Debbie McLeod, director of the Colorado Talking Book Library. They're a partner, they're a friend, they've been a sponsor of our convention. So let's give a warm Federation welcome to Debbie McLeod.
Hi, Scott. This is Debbie, and hi, everyone. Good morning. That was a great welcome.
We got a huge crowd this year, they love you, Debbie. They love you.
I know. I can hear it. It's wonderful. Well, thanks again for having me to give you a library update. It's been quite a challenging year for everybody. And for starters, I usually like to give you an update on what's going on at the federal level with NLS. We were going to have our national conference in the spring in Lincoln, Nebraska, and that, of course, was canceled. And they are working on a virtual conference, and it was supposed to be in November, and it might happen in December, who knows, but we still haven't had one. So we'll see what happens, but I think probably the project that they're working on that people are perhaps most interested in is the Braille e-reader. And the information that we have is it's currently in the first 6-month pilot. It will move into a second 6-month pilot, and Karen expected to have some e-readers available next summer. Now, they won't have enough to money, of course, to purchase them all at once, much like the digital talking book player rollout. We'll get a certain number and we'll be able to give them out to interested parties. And as we get more, everyone will get one eventually, but not in the first month, let's just say. So, of course, about 5 years ago, they said it would be 2 years. Everything takes longer at the federal level. So I'm hoping that we'll in fact actually have some e-readers, Braille e-readers, to be able to start to distribute to patrons next summer. But we'll see. And we'll have more updates once we have our national conference. And if you watch the newsletter and or our CTBL update email, I can keep you apprised on that. While there were some delays in posting books to BARD earlier since March, sort of March into the summer, they've smoothed things out now, and they're posting books to BARD. There's still occasional glitches, as you may go on and see that there weren't any books posted for a couple days, and then there's a whole raft of them. So they're, working, most of them are working from home. Some of them are going into the office. And so just like all of us, we're all doing the best we can. But there are about 5,000 titles that are being added every year. So the numbers have gone up considerably, which is great. Locally, we have been operational throughout since March. However, in March, we did pause our volunteers and close the building to the public. The governor mandated that businesses, including state agencies, should have a 50% occupancy. So we reduced our staff. 50% are working from home and continue to do so, and 50% are working in the building. But we have been able to keep the mail going. So we will quarantine mail for 3 days. We count the time that it spends in the mail process. So that could be sometimes weeks as part of quarantine, but to deal with the outside container, the cartridges and the books that are inside containers have been quarantining for all the mail time, but the outside the outside containers then sit for 72 hours until they're processed in the library. And then by the time they get back out to you, they've quarantined quite a long time. But then, of course, there's the whole mail back to you piece. So when you call the library, if you do have questions, calls are going straight to voicemail, and reader advisors will call you back. I suggest that you leave a good time for them to call you because, of course, with all of the spamming, we're not answering our phones, right? If we don't recognize the number. But if you have called to the library and left a message, I encourage you to answer your phone so you can get the return back the call. or leave a time that is good. And then this will eliminate, that telephone tag business. If you have email and are comfortable with that, that sometimes is the easiest. So you can email ctbl.info@cde.state.co.us. And then the email, you don't have that telephone tag business. So this time last year, I talked to you about switching over our service model to duplication on demand, and we hope that that model is working for you. We remember that you can have up to 15 books on a cartridge. So if you want to change that number up or down, you can talk to a reader advisor or email a reader advisor. We had started out with 3 cartridges per patron, but in March we went through and increased everybody to 4 and sent out another cartridge so that to make sure that you would have enough books in the event that we did have to close. Luckily, we did not. So we are one of very few libraries that did not have to close for any period of time in the country. So we're quite proud of that. We have strong safety measures. Staff have to wear masks. I've got cleaning that goes on a regular basis. Everybody's washing their hands. In the building, we installed ionizers, needlepoint bionic ionizers to help clean and deal with the aerosol issue. So that's just another level of safety. Because our main goal through all of this time is to keep the library open to staff so that we can keep your service going. We know that many of our patrons are isolated, and during COVID, it's even worse. And so books are their companions, and to continue to receive books is really important to them. So our staff is taking it seriously, and we just don't want COVID in the building and have to shut it down. But this is also a good time to remind you that if you have a smart device and broadband connections, you can sign up for BARD. If you haven't done so already, that's a digital download service. It's open 24/7, so there's no waiting for books. We are starting to slowly ramp up the studio because recording has been closed since March. We have a list of the books that are closest to completion. We've got the books that are in process, and they're rated, organized by closest to completion. And we're starting with the top 3 books that are closest to completion, and we'll have 1 narrator on Monday, 1 on Wednesday, and 1 on Friday, working on completing those books. And when we get done with those, we will start on the next 3. So if you had requested a book to be recorded, this process is going to take a lot longer. I am hoping that by the spring, when a vaccine will be more widely available, we'll be able to ramp up to where we were. And certainly by the summer of next year, we should be kind of back to a little normal. That's my own personal guesstimate from reading the literature and following Fauci and things like that. So we also want to remind you that we are partnering with Bookshare to provide patrons with access to that content. And if you're a current BARD participant and are interested in Bookshare, you can contact Teresa Kalber or just send us an email. We have 50 seats. We had signed up for 150 seats. We have filled 100 of them. So there are 50 seats available. We also provide access to online databases, and you can get to them through the website. And you wouldn't need to sign on. So if you just go through the website, you'll be able to, you just need your patron ID number. That's all you would need. And on the left side of the page of the web page, there's a link to databases, so you can find them there. There are things like Academic Search Premier, Business Source Premier, Consumer Health Complete, Legal Information Reference Center, and Science Reference Center. So science might be a good thing to indulge in at the moment. And speaking of descriptive videos, we have been adding to the collection since July, so you can keep checking on new additions. You can do that through searching the catalog or sending an email or calling the library. I'm thrilled to hear about Spectrum Access, so we'll put that in our newsletter for other patrons as well. I've always thought that one of the things that NFB could do is try to get national legislation requiring description, much the same way that closed captioning is required at a national level. At the moment, it's expensive to do, and it's the choice of the producer of the either movie or TV show. And so what happens, and I know is exceedingly frustrating, if like you would end up having a trilogy movie like Hunger Games, and not every one of them is described. So we have the ones that are described, and I think it's like the middle one that's not. So it's not particularly useful when it's hit or miss like that. But anyway, so just as a reminder, if you are on Facebook, you can get the Friends of CTBL have a Facebook page, and Emma is putting content up there almost every day. So you can check that out. And there is also Twitter feed at Friends of CTBL. I'm the one responsible for that. And I have to be honest that I haven't been very good at posting tweets lately. So, you know, not that much going on that one, but the Facebook page is quite active. So that's the update from the library for this year. And if you have questions or issues that you would like me to address or answer, please send an email. You can send an email to ctbl.info, and if you didn't get the email address, it's on our webpage, which is myctbl.org. So that should be pretty easy to remember. And you can just put up in the subject line, question for Debbie, and I will reply to you. So thank you very much again. I hope the day goes well for you, and I'll throw it back to Scott.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie. We really appreciate the information. We appreciate your advocacy in making sure that we have access to materials and books. And, you know, your idea about addressing at a federal level the issue of audio description, well, we may very well get there. You know, there are so many priorities. Right now, we're struggling with some of the more basic items like employment, education, and access to the web. So we'll get there. We'll get there one of these days. So thank you so much, Debbie. Let's hear it for Debbie. Crowd, come on, wake up, crowd. Oh, what a great crowd. Thank you so much, Debbie. And I'm sure you'd like a door prize. So, Mo?
Hello. How about $25 and a book code to Audible for one of Joe Elizabeth Pinto's books? And let's give that to Tracy Jones.
Oh, Tracy. I hope she's here. She's one of our scholarship winners, of course. Tracy?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, congratulations.
I love it when you get them on the first try, Mo. That's awesome. So, all right. Thank you for that. We'll have some more door prizes later. Now, I think this is the time we should do a vote. What do you think, Kevin? Kevin Kovacs. Well, Buer, anyone? Well, maybe we won't do a vote. Oh, you know what we're going to do? I don't know if you're ready, Marianne, but we should do an auction item. If you want.
Oh, yes, we can do an auction item.
All right, let's do it.
I'll stop running in place just to do an auction item.
Good.
And because it is Happy Halloween today,
I meant to say that,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I meant to say it was Halloween. Happy Halloween, Marianne.
It is Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you too, Scott. Just so that everybody knows, this morning I did post out and Curtis reposted, and it's all kind of all over the place. The auction item list for today, we have 16 different items on the block for today. So read through them so that I won't have to read everything. But this package is so cool, I have to read it in its entirety because it's really cool. It's number 2, Faces Forward. Because it's Halloween, we have to auction off some masks. So we have the Faces Forward package that is a Merry Mask pack plus an NFB mask. And let me just read you really quickly what's in this package because it's really cool. There's a red mask. There's a white mask that is Gobble Till You Wobble. There's a red mask, Merry Grinchmas. A blue mask with snowflakes. A black mask with Christmas lights and snowflakes. And there's a white one with Christmas decorations, and a mask pack would not be complete without the NFB mask. This is a $75 value donated by Peggy and Curtis Chong. So since it's Halloween and it's early in the morning and we can do this well, let's start the bidding here at $40. And if you're in at $40, raise your virtual hand.
I see 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's about 8 hands up, 9 hands.
8 hands.
Wow.
Drop them down. Let's go. Drop them down, and I'll put up the next.
Hold on. Hang on. Guys, hang on the hands for a second.
We've got over anxious hand raisers, so you better go up.
We love it.
Out.
I think we're okay now.
All righty, let's go 50.
There's a hand. Couple hands. There's 8 hands. Keep going.
8 hands. All right, stop raising hands. Drop them down.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we're good. Go ahead.
65. Let's go good. Go big or go home.
Hands are going up. We got 4 hands.
Wow.
8 hands.
Jeez.
Nice.
I love this, people.
11. Hold on, guys. I'm going to stop with the hands. Okay, hold
All
on a
right,
minute.
stop with the hands. We're dropping them down.
Wow.
Hands are down.
Yeah, we're all down. I'm having to do it multiple times.
80 bucks.
The hand already went up. We already got hands going up.
$80 for a mask set, a set of masks.
So you can get your face on for the rest of the year.
6 hands.
6 hands.
7.
Stop with the hands. Drop them down.
And we are good. We're ready.
Let us go. Let's go 100.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, I like your style.
3 hands. 4. 5. 6. I think we can go further.
All right, drop them down.
Okay, all hands are down.
It's a fun package. 120.
There's Gary. 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is the way to start the morning.
All right, we're gonna lower all those hands.
Drop those hands.
All right.
Let's go 140.
1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like the count.
In my mind, Paul, you sort of look like him.
5. Yeah, well, thank
Alrighty.
you.
We're at 5 at least.
Hands
All
are
right,
down.
I'll tell you what, this price is going up, so let's drop the hands and let's unmute and have some spirited bidding.
All right. Hands are down.
Hands are down. Do I hear everybody unmute that's in the bidding? And I'm looking for 150.
150.
Say your name and your
Gary,
bid.
150.
Gary's 150.
Priscilla, 150.
I already have 150.
Priscilla, 150.
I already have 150 from Gary. Priscilla, do you want to go above that?
Oh, 155.
160
155?
Worley.
160 Worley.
161 Van Dorn.
I think we've just about tapped him out, so I'm sure Priscilla or Kevin, you could get it for 165.
165, Renee.
Oh,
165
Renee!
Renee. All right.
Baby.
170 Worley.
Oh, yeah. I love this kind of fighting within the Federation.
175 Janet.
Julia Zanin.
Julia Zanin, sorry.
Oh, Xanon's in this thing, huh?
I'm bowing out, neighbor.
Eat my dust, Xanon.
175 once. 175 twice.
180.
Oh.
180 Worley. Be faster next time, dude. You know how this goes.
I'm out now. I'm out at 180, Julia. Just so
80
you know.
going once.
185.
All right, 185 Zanin.
Sell it.
Going once.
Sell it.
Twice. Sold to what for Julia Zanin, 185. And the crowd loves Julia.
Julia, thank you so much. And, you know, Julia was the inaugural manager of our blindness and low vision services. And I know you had to do what you had to do, Julia, but I kind of wish you wouldn't have retired. I just want that known for the record. You were awesome.
We missed you.
Anyway,
I think we miss you right about now.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. I was kind of thinking that too yesterday. So,
Yeah.
She's going to say that on her watch, this situation would never have happened.
Well, it wouldn't have.
it wouldn't have.
I believe that.
All right. Let's see here.
Poll is live.
Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Kovacs.
The poll is up.
Okay. Well, the poll's up. Okay. So, dial our voting number 719-496-8738. I believe I said that correctly.
Correct.
And push 1 if you're dialing your phone, using your phone. Push 1 for the Broncos. They'll win the game on Sunday. Push 2 for the Chargers. If you think they're going to win. I don't know why I say it Chargers like that, like it's Boston or something. It's in LA. How does an LA person say Chargers?
Is there a 3 for people who don't care?
No, you gotta make a choice, Gary.
How about 6?
So, people voting, Kevin?
I hope some of these people texted because I want them to see a message if they vote wrong.
I did. I got it. I got the message.
Yeah. All right. So we've got 25 in.
Only 25.
I just voted, and I voted for 1, and it said that I voted for the Chargers, but I voted for the.
No, it said if you voted for the Chargers.
No, it said if you voted for the Chargers, you voted wrong, implying that the Broncos were definitely better.
But it said,
That was funny.
But I voted for the Broncos, and I put
Go Chiefs.
And it said you voted for the Chargers.
Huh.
My friend in Kansas
Well,
City.
there you
said,
go. Any more votes, Kevin?
Can I get the phone number one more time?
36.
The phone number is 719-496-8738.
37 are in.
37 votes. Okay, we'll keep it open for I haven't voted yet. I suppose I could.
I voted correctly.
Yeah, but it said I voted wrong. It said if you voted for the Chargers, you voted wrong. It must be
What?
Lisa Bonderson. Lisa Bonderson must have control of this.
Yeah. I don't know
All
why
right,
Kevin
we're
Kovacs
gonna-
is weighing in on sports here.
We're going to close it out in 10 seconds.
39.
39 votes.
Wow.
Yeah. Poll
Lord.
closed.
All right, poll is down. We
The
had
results?
40 votes. 40 votes. And early on, it was the Chargers in lead, but now it went 24-16 to the Broncos.
Hey, Broncos! Yay!
Go Broncos!
All right, so hopefully that gives you a little experience with our voting system. We'll do another vote after our next item. I don't know what it's going to be on yet, Kevin. I'll have to think of something.
All right.
So let's see. Julie Dean, are you out there?
I am here, yes.
Okay, so I'd like you to introduce this next item. I know you have a video, but I'm sure you have some, comments as well.
I do have some comments. Good morning, everybody. My first comment is that I am distressed that we don't have more Bronco fans. We should have had more
Yeah.
votes that the Broncos would win. So, the last year has been a lot for everybody to deal with. And I thought of 4 words that really stand out in my mind that all of us here have needed to think about and use in order to do all the great work that we've done. And those words are resilience, innovation, strength, and change. We can apply all of those things to the past year at the Colorado Center for the Blind. Our students and staff were really excited about putting together a video for our convention this year. And so I am excited to be able to share this video with all of you. So I think we'll just go ahead and roll the video.
I don't see an active screen share.
I believe Curtis is,
There you go, Curtis. He got it now.
yeah, he's doing it. Good morning to my NFB family. My name is Julie Deeden, and I have had the honor to be the director at the Colorado Center for the Blind now for 21 years. I can't believe that it has been 21 years. This year is so different from any other year that we've had. Normally, at convention, you'd be meeting our students at meetings at convention, having breakfast with them, or meeting them in the bar. This year, we decided that it would be fun for you to really get to know our students. And the only way that we could do that was to put together a video so that you can meet our students in our new virtual world. In January, we opened up, like we always do, right after our Christmas break, for our staff in-service. I still remember the day so clearly. Our whole staff, along with some of our board members, were crowded together in our large conference room. We had such a productive day. One of the things that we had that day was first aid training. I know that everybody got so much from that day. We had all kinds of goals set out for the year 2020. In February, 3 teenagers earned scholarships to attend Washington Seminar. So we flew off with them together and spent time with them, not only going to congressional offices, senators' offices, having them get to talk with them, but we also rode the metro, went out for meals. We had a grand time, and they learned from positive blind role models. On March 13th, our student Christian graduated from the center. He had worked really hard. His family had driven here from Nevada, and they were so proud of him, as we all were. We were all crying at his graduation because he came such a long way while he was with us at the center. That is the last face-to-face graduation that we've had, where we've all eaten together in the large meeting room, and where he got to stand right next to me and ring his freedom bell. Take charge with confidence, Colorado Center for the Blind 2020. Congratulations, Christian. On Monday, March 16th, we met with all of the students at announcements, and I had to tell them we needed to begin having classes at their apartments. Things were not looking good, and we couldn't continue our face-to-face learning. A few days later, we made the decision to fly many of our students home. Now I'd like to share with you a sample of some virtual learning that took place. We had 7 students in our apartments for over 2 months. David Neatfelt is an extremely creative instructor. So here you will see him giving everybody a lesson at our apartments on how to put back together a P-trap.
So the first thing I want you guys to do is take your bucket or pot or bowl, whatever it is, and put it underneath the drain from your sink. So your drain, remember your drain comes down and then it has that U shape at the bottom. You're going to kind of angle it so you can go underneath that U shape.
Everybody's in their bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Everybody that can be, it sounds like.
I'm even in mine. Huh.
Excellent. All right. So now that everybody's set up, what you want to do is there should be 2 places that can turn. One should be closest to you, and the other one should be a little ways further back.
Ooh. Oh. David, this is splashing all over the place. Every time I twist it.
Yeah, that probably means you have more of a clog than other people.
Oh.
Righty-tighty, loosey lefty.
So are you happy you put the bucket under there first?
Also, don't turn on the faucet.
Yeah, the water will come right out into your bucket.
In June, I'm so excited. We decided with all the work with our board, things were loosening up a bit. We put together a safety protocol, and I really want to thank our board of directors and so many other people for all of their support. We started back slowly with just a few students, and then we built from here. We currently have 20 students here at the Colorado Center. One of the things we do each day is check our students in. And that's something that I love more than you can ever imagine.
How about your weekend? Look, excellent. The students are always so excited.
Next, I'd like you to meet the students at the Colorado Center for the Blind. The students are the heart of our center. Without our students, of course, we wouldn't have our center. And I have to tell all of you, as I think you already know, how much I love our students. Here is a snapshot of the students that were with us the week of October 5th. First of all, there's 2 students that aren't in the video because they've come in later in October. We have India, who is from California. She recently graduated from high school, and she is so excited to be here with us. We also have another student from California, Tom. He had not used a cane at all before he came into the center. I handed him a cane about a week ago, and now today he's running all over the place with his long white cane.
Hi, my name is Quaim Gray. I go by Q as well. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I came to the Colorado Center to get training. Training in Braille, training in tech, travel, and things of that nature. I've learned a lot in my 9 months of being here. A lot of things that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. After I leave the center, I plan on going back to school.
My name is James. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I've been here for about 10 months next week. I'm here because I wanted to gain the confidence and skills needed to be a productive person in society. Before I got here, I wasn't using a cane or really did much of anything. But since being here, I feel like I've gained independence for sure.
Hi, my name is Will Lewis, and I'm from Colorado. I go by Louie, and I came to the program so I can learn independence, so I can actually live on my own. I don't like to depend on people for everything. I like to do things on my own, figure it out and explore.
Okay, Colin? I have been here since June 8th, practically 7 days after the school has been opened, and I also want to say that this experience has been wonderful. Admittedly, it was a little overwhelming for me. Well, technically it's a little overwhelming for us all when we first come here. But you know, once you figure out the sleep shades, it took me about a couple weeks to figure everything out and where everything was. And I'm really glad I came here.
Hi, my name is Laura Martinez, and I am originally from Orange County, California. I came to Colorado when I was 11. Me coming to the center was kind of a big challenge for me on the emotional side of things. It's going pretty good. I've learned to cook. I've never cooked for myself before, and it's been amazing to learn. I've made tacos, and I've also made meatloaf, and I went home this weekend and I made meatloaf for my family, and it was pretty, they all loved it.
Hi, my name is Jacob Allmeyer. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been here for about 3 months. I came here to then go get my associate's degree and then get my bachelor's degree in sports business because I want to be a sports agent. And I've learned a lot being here. Before I came here, I never used a cane, and now I'm pretty proficient with it and got really comfortable using a cane. And yeah, my main goal was to get all the skills I need to be independent and go to college on my own.
Hello, my name is Alice. I'm from Arizona. I've been here for just about 3 months. My goals here are to learn as much as I can and learn all the skills so I can apply them independently. It's going pretty well. I am doing a lot, and I appreciate all the help that the teachers give me. I'd like to obtain a job, possibly in the medical field.
Hi, my name is Madison. People also call me Maddie. I was born and raised here in Denver, Colorado. Heading right into the ITP program straight out of high school was a huge leap for me, considering I never went to high school for the last days, senior pranks, prom, anything like that. We weren't able to. So it definitely is a nice change.
Hello, my name is Craig Gonzalez, and I am from Houston, Texas. This is my first month here at the center. I chose to go to the center because I wanted to get my confidence back. It was my wife's and I, our first child, and her name's Poppy, and that was really, really hard, but I've had a lot of encouragement from Julie and Norma Crosby on just returning in the father I could be for her, an independent and confident father. And that's also really a driving force behind my decision to come here.
Hi, my name is Matt Simmons. I'm from San Francisco. And my goals for this program are to learn the skills for college and be independent and learn how to use the cane and get more proficient with Braille so that I'm able to be prepared for college. So at college I want to study business, so I'm thinking something maybe in business, but I'm not exactly sure like what kind of job I'd want yet.
Hi, my name is Sky Chapin. I go by Sky. I've been here for at least a month. To be independent, don't have to rely on someone teaching me how to do things, and I came here so I can cook, learn how to cook, and provide for myself.
Hello, I'm Evan. I'm from North Glen, Colorado. I've been here at the center as a student for about 4-ish weeks. I literally have just graduated high school, and I knew that I didn't have the confidence and skills that I needed, so I felt like I'd be able to get them here. I have plans. I would like to get some form of a degree and work in IT. I've been with the center for years, ever since I was about 6 years old, so you know, they've known me for quite a while. I've done many of their programs, including Confidence Camp and Bell Camp, and I did the middle school program back in 2014, so I'm definitely quite familiar with this Colorado Center.
My name is Katie Carmack. I'm from Glendale, Arizona, and I've been here a week and a half. My decision to come to Colorado, I wasn't initially considering residential, but the 3 schools in Arizona all had primarily Zoom, and that's not really the way I learn. So I made the decision to come to Colorado. I also like the aspect of the challenge recreation, the tactile art, martial arts. The Colorado program had quite a bit more of kind of the holistic approach that I liked and was looking forward to. And as far as what happens after, I'm leaving that open right now. I'm on a hiatus from working while I learn how to use the tech piece in Braille in order to fold that into my employment. My background is social work, so I was working in hospice, so working with death and dying.
I'm Eileen Marsteller, and I have been here about a week. And yes, it was definitely overwhelming my first days here. But I'm actually starting to get used to the sleep shades. I can get around on the basement, around down there. But I still haven't figured out the upstairs, so I'm still getting lost. But I am really excited because I can actually see the progress that I'm making, and I've only been here a week.
I am Tony Maldonado. I am originally from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I've been here for a grand total of about 12 hours. So the kind of like catalyst for the decision to come up was I've been kind of grinding it out for 3 years at a small like locally owned pizza joint, and that just was not working. Like it just kept getting harder and harder the longer I stayed there, and I realized like if I want to achieve the end goal of opening up my own restaurant, I need to get actual training and actual skills. So yeah, here I am. A little overwhelming. We're slowly coming along though, so we'll get there.
Hi, my name is Duncan Larson. I'm the Director of Senior Services at the Colorado Center for the Blind. In 2020, we started out the year really busy working with many seniors. And then, of course, we all know what happened in March. It took us a little bit of time, but very quickly, we started to develop virtual services for seniors. We have 3 different virtual support groups every week. We do virtual classes, we do virtual counseling, and now we're working with even more seniors than ever before. And we're so happy about that. I'd like you to meet 3 of the seniors that we are currently working with. Here they are.
My name is Eileen,
McMahon. And I said, experience in my life, raising 5 kids and dancing and singing and golfing and a beauty shop and all that and stuff. Well, Stephanie and Anahi were the ones that were helping me, and they were so helpful. They're so helpful. And it just, I just felt I needed somebody to tell me how to move forward in my life. I call the meetings and I say, well, first I had to say call voiceover on. Then I call a Wednesday meeting, the senior meeting, and I call that, and they get right on, and I tell them who it is, and then I start listening, and it's just wonderful. And I don't have to, well, sometimes I comb my hair.
Get all primped.
And I say, make sure my lipstick is on and my hair is combed before I sit down and listen.
My name is Olive Athey Wilkinson, and I live in Littleton. I've had many home visits, and they have helped me tremendously. I never dreamed I would be going blind in my life, and it was just, it was so helpful to have the contact with the center. I think the main thing is to start early. Don't wait till you're blind to learn all the things that are out there to help you.
My name is Raymond Roundtree. I live in Denver, Colorado. I've been involved with the center for the past, I think it's 4 years. Mobility, I've worked on mobility. I've worked on my iPhone, my iPad, and without the center, I'd be in a horse and buggy gait. Life is not in being blind. There's a lot of things you can learn, and it's an adjustment like we do in life. Everything is an adjustment.
Hi everyone, my name is Martin Becerra Miranda. I am the Director of Youth Services at the Colorado Center for the Blind. This year's summer program was a little bit different, but nonetheless we had 4 great summer sessions. Throughout the months of June and July, we held a total of 12 virtual sessions that were 90 minutes each. The topics varied from advocacy to STEM to college readiness and employment. We had over 30 students who participated from across the country, including a young gentleman from Thailand. As part of these sessions, we had some fantastic presenters. Some of them were Scott Labar, who many of you might have seen earlier this week as part of the convention programming. We had Karis Glather, one of our state scholarship winners, who coordinated a couple of science experiments with our students. We also had Pierre Kucherave and Maureen Neatfeld, who worked with our students on presentation and being professional. And I think one of my favorite sessions was when we had our mock interviews. We had a couple of our volunteers, including some volunteers from the Denver Active 2030 Children's Foundation, one of our partner organizations. And so they helped us out by conducting some of these mock interviews. So I want to highlight one of our summer students. His name is Sebastian, and he is from New Jersey. Sebastian participated in all of our sessions this year, and I was talking with him not too long ago, and he was telling me that thanks to all of the knowledge that he had gained from the employment sessions and the opportunity that he had to participate in a couple of mock interviews had helped him out so much that just a few weeks after our programs wrapped up, he was able to find employment. So it's students like Sebastian and many others that make each summer program so unique and such a fun to be a part of. Another one of the great programs that I get to work on is our Bell Academy. And like many others, our Bell Academy had to go virtual this year. So for the first time, the National Federation of the Blind held our very first Bell Academy in-home edition. The national office sent material boxes to all of the participants. The boxes included sleep shades, canes, Braille paper, Braille puzzles. As part of our Bell Academy in-home edition, we had 13 students from Colorado who participated. It was a lot of fun to work with them. It was so rewarding to see how much they were enjoying the programming and getting to connect with other blind students from across the country. I especially want to thank our Bell mentors this year. Those include Stephanie Bouquet, Anahit Labar, Alma Rodriguez, Karis Glather, Yolanda Thompson, Deavir Casares, and Amanda Williams. They were all fantastic to work with, of course, participating in a lot of the Bell sessions, mentoring the students and the families, and putting up with me. Next up, we're going to hear from one of our Bell families. Here is Holly Bracken and Amelia Stewison.
Millie and then 5.
5 years old.
Wait, no, that's not true. I mean 6. I just forgot.
I was going to say, I thought you were 5 last year.
Yeah. That was my fault.
Remember what we talked about when you sat outside and you worked on your cane skills and you grew sunflower seeds and you played with ping pong balls and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was the first time I ever grown anything from seed. Yeah, it was so cool. Like, it was like us growing. Like when I turned 5 and I turned 6 now.
Like you're getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, just like the seed. I feel like I learned so much from it. And then Anahit and I have been talking ever since, and she's really helped guide me and teach me more things and explain things more and help me bring up good questions to our team here at Jeffco at Millie's school. So I found it so beneficial. And I think when Millie gets a little bit older and she's more involved in Braille anyways, I think it'll be so helpful for her. The materials that you gave us were amazing, by the way. We still use all of them. I just know when you guys have it back at your school, I totally want to be a part of it. I think Millie would just learn a lot. And, you know, she's not around a lot of kids who also can't see. So I think it's good for her to be around children who also are kind of on that level with her. So I just look forward to one day, whenever we can all physically get together like that, to have the opportunity.
Because I want to learn more stuff about Braille.
That's awesome. I have a huge grin on my face. You have no idea.
You know, there's obviously been a lot of downside with the coronavirus and the mandatory masks and the social distancing. But one thing that is true is that the center is unstoppable. We have pushed forward. We have done it safely. We have done it in a reasonable manner. But the fact is that we are family. And to see a family member gain so much, there's no better reward.
One of the most positive outcomes of our stay-at-home quarantine in 2020 has to be our philosophy class. Never before has the Colorado Center for the Blind experienced such a variety of guests, from leaders in the NFB, authors, business owners, a blind reporter, a race car driver, and countless others. They gave their time to talk to our students and staff, giving their life stories and advice. So sit back and listen to just a sample of some of the highlights.
We are so honored and thrilled to have Jean Brown with us today.
I say to each one of you, never hold back. Whatever your ambitions are, go for it. Whatever you choose to do in your life, be strong, hold your head up, and even if you seem to get weak at certain points, it's okay. That's why we're here. That's why the members of the National Federation of the Blind are a part of your family. We love you and we want you all to succeed. That's our message.
I think of Marianne as being a very gracious person, and she's a wonderful, great role model.
You've got to bring something that is so over the top better than what sighted people have in order for most employers to look beyond the dog or the cane or the limited vision.
We are very, very honored today to have Marco Cabono, President of the National Federation of the Blind, on our call with us.
Although you're going to be much better off for going to get training at the Colorado Center. When you graduate, you will not know everything you need to know. You will not have all the skills developed that you need to have to go the places you want to go, but you will have the fundamental understanding and the basic skills to build all those skills you're going to need later. And if there's anything that's been very apparent to me in the last month, it's that there's just some things you can never adequately prepare for. And in the last month, I have dealt with situations and conversations and managing things that I just had never even contemplated having to deal with. And it really comes back to the training and understanding that I got at the Colorado Center to do that.
2.5 years ago, I started out for the biggest project I've ever had in my life. I wanted to become the world's fastest blind man. A blind man in England named Mike Newman has the Guinness Book of World Record at 200.4 miles per hour, and he does with human assistance. So I want to bring that record home to America. For the last 2.5 years, I've been building a 2008 C6 Corvette with the sole purpose to become the world's fastest blind man with a goal of 210 miles an hour.
Today our speaker is going to be Gary O'Donoghue. He actually works for the BBC.
It's an interesting balance between not pretending to be a sighted person. I certainly don't do that, and I don't want to do that. But at the same time, you know, if you're not actually looking vaguely in the right direction, then you're not going to be able to communicate in the way you'd want to, because everyone at home's thinking, what's he doing? Then once they're thinking that, they're not listening to what you're saying.
I am so excited today that we have Mike Kingston on the call with us.
I want you all to remember that. Turn perceived liabilities into assets, because bottom line is, blindness is a perceived liability. I submit it's not a liability, but it's a perceived one.
I'm really excited today that we get to have Ron Brown on our call.
Now, one of the things you may think is, man, this guy has worked and done everything, but you always have to make time to play. You have to, because in living the life you want, you have to have some recreation time, or else you'll get burned out on work and all of that. I love my jobs. I love my businesses that I own, but I do love to play too.
We are so excited to have Curtis Chong on with us today.
My advice to you is to approach compliments with a certain amount of care. Does the person really recognize that you did a good job? Do you believe that you did a good job? Or are they just trying to shine you on because they think that if you can tie your shoe, you are a great person? If anybody tells you you're doing a great job, verify in your own mind that that person really has a high enough opinion of you that they're going to tell you the truth if you're not.
Well, I want to thank you all for your attention today. I learned just some things today. Now, you would think, oh my God, she's so old, she probably knows everything. Or else, she's so old, she doesn't care. None of those things are true. I'm still learning things every day. And I just really enjoyed doing this. And I thank you all for your contributions. I'll say one last thing. Make the most of your time at the center. It is a very inclusive, loving environment. And when you leave there and you go back into your hometown, wherever you live, it's going to be different. It's going to be very different. And because of your changes, people aren't going to be used to you, seeing you, lots of you with a white cane, seeing you traveling independently, not having someone drive you everywhere you want to go. And so that will be quite a change. I say this because I urge you strongly to keep in touch. Keep in touch. The follow-up is so important because it can be pretty distressing and it can be truly wonderful. That is what I'm going to leave you with today, and thank you all.
And I would just like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank Dan Burke for all of his hard work on the video. I'd like to thank especially Mike Thompson, who worked tirelessly for hours upon hours on the video. I'd like to thank Brett Boyer for putting together the last piece about many of the philosophy classes that we had over the spring. I'd like to thank so many of you that were guests in our philosophy classes. And I would also want to tell you all that we do have the very best staff in the whole world. I love all of you guys. Everyone is so dedicated every single day. And also I want to thank lastly our students, because our students spend hours upon hours filming our staff, and we did not have time to be able to have our staff as part of the video today. We really wanted to showcase some other things. Thank you, everybody. And, you know, without the National Federation of the Blind, of Colorado, and everyone here, we would never be able to do the things that we do. So thank you so much.
Let's hear it for Julie in the center. There we go. There we go. So, Julie, I heard a little emotion in your voice. Did a tear shed or not?
You know, I'm sure it wouldn't surprise you that you would know a few tears shed, and Dan's in my office with me. And so I heard him sniffling a bit too.
Because it's really not a convention until you, Dan, and Diane cry.
That's correct.
Okay, so we got you and Dan taken care of. Let's see. Do we still have Diane on the line? I want to know if that turned.
So
I hope so too. I saw her before in the list, but I haven't checked the list in quite a while. Do you see her, Paul? Because if we have Diane here.
Yes, I am.
Diane!
Yay.
Good morning, Diane.
Good morning. And you know darn well, Scott, that there were some tears right here. I loved it.
Okay. Hey, just 1 second, Diane. It is now an official convention. Let's hear it for an official convention. Oh, my God. There we go. All right. Well, go ahead, Diane. I know you wanted to make a couple comments.
I wanted to say, first of all, and it's going to be last of all, Scotty, I promise. We've got a lot to cover. The other day, we always ask our seniors in their meetings to start out. We ask them different questions. You know, like, what are you doing to stay sane in the pandemic? And, you know, that kind of thing. So the other day, we asked the question, what has been a defining moment in your life? Something that you believe really changed your life that happened to you. And I started it out. I said, I've had time to think about this a day. I came up with it the day before. And I said, for me, the most defining moment I've ever had has been my decision to start the Colorado Center for the Blind. And I can still say that today. Yes, there are a few tears. However, they are tears of joy. They are not tears of sadness. So God bless you all. Thank you for making this such a wonderful convention. You guys are just tremendous. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Diane, for everything you've done. And there aren't words enough to express the gratitude we owe you, the debt we owe you. The changes you have made are forever and can never be taken back. So thank you, Diane. Mo, I think for all of that, we ought to have a big honking door prize.
Oh my.
Got any ducks there or geese or anything? Honking?
No, I let them outside this morning. They didn't come back.
Darn it.
It's nicer today than it has been. So how about some of Diane's fudge and a facial? Fudge and a facial.
How those two go together, I'll keep working on. But yes, why not?
Listen, you feel good, you eat good.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Well, tell us who won.
What about Shauna Jatho?
Oh, I bet you she's not here. She
might be here. She's going to be at the banquet.
Shauna is? Okay.
Yes.
Well, you're out here now, Shauna. You were with us yesterday, but she's practicing her non-24 sleep cycle or something. All right, let's do another one. Mo.
All right. What about Anahit Labar?
Oh, she's not here.
Oh,
I bet you
did you run her off?
Yeah. There was this other guy she was running off with. I don't know. Are you out there, Anahit? I know she was tuned in. But whoops, maybe we caught her. Anahit.
I do not see her.
I'm down here in the basement, and she was upstairs, and I don't know what's going on. She might be offline because our dog has been kind of sick this morning. So
oh no,
poor
Mocha.
Grown up,
poor Mocha.
Not as energetic as she usually is. So I don't know. Anyway, I will give you one last chance, Anahit. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was going to get a facial. All right, try again,
All
Mo.
right. What about Olivia Batron?
Ooh. Well, I don't know. Do we have any of the Batrons? If the parents are here, we'll count it because Olivia's young. She hasn't obtained the age of majority yet.
Or needing facials.
Well,
her grandfather is here.
Brent, Ina, they've got to be here.
I see Brent on the list. I just don't hear him talking.
Get it?
Brent is here.
Hey, you guys, the family, you guys just want a facial and Diane's fudge.
All right.
The facial's especially for you.
Yeah, wait for the fudge.
All right.
Worley
we're running.
seeking the floor.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But I just, I know we have a powerful rest of the day. I want to make sure that everybody gets pumped and excited about the banquet, some of our better door prizes, some outstanding auction packages still to be given away by banquet time. Senator Pete Lee's going to stop in, be at the head table, the virtual head table. So is Dr. Nancy Benham, the superintendent. We've got Scott and I are cooking up some other crazy surprises. And of course, John G. Paret, our banquet speaker, and a few other things. So I think you'll enjoy Joe Elizabeth Pinto. And also we've got Precious Perez, and it's going to be a good banquet. I hope y'all will be there and bring your own rubber chicken or order a pizza or Uber Eats or whatever. But we're going to put on a little show, and we'll probably go to some of your pods, and say hello to you, even though we can't be in the same room together. So enjoy the banquet at 6 tonight. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Kevin. And I believe also we're going to have some music from Stray Dog. And I know Eric has been listening to this convention, and he hasn't been on the Zoom room, but he's been on YouTube. We've had
oh my goodness, Scott! When they sang at the opening ceremonies,
yeah.
I thought Civil War. I thought we actually had the Civil Wars in the room, and I sent him Eric a note saying, "You guys, I mean, we've seen you, we've heard you sing and play together for almost 2 decades," and he just sent me a note back saying, "It's all Ann. It's all Ann."
All right. Well, great. Kevin Kovacs, are you out there? I have figured out our next vote.
Okay.
And we'll do it after my report, just for fun. What is your favorite program at the center? ITP for Independence Training Program, Youth Program, or Seniors?
Right.
I know we have other programs, but I thought, those are the 3 biggies. So ITP, Youth, or Seniors. It'll be interesting to see how this vote comes out. Marianne, I think what we'll do is have another auction item before we adjourn. And I think we need to turn to my report, which I need to truncate. I'll do the best job that a lawyer can do in that regard. And let me actually find my report. That would be a good thing, I think. The fact that I am giving this report to you from our basement underscores the fact that it really, truly is an astonishing year, just a year of great change, of great tumult. Anything I can say along those lines is just a grave understatement, because I don't know if there are words to express what has happened to us in this year. And I really believe that, the organizations, the people that meet the challenges of this year with resilience are the ones that will prosper in the future, will be ready to embrace the new challenges and leverage the opportunities that are present, that are presented to us. And otherwise, I think you risk falling behind and getting trapped in the past. So I've been thinking about resilience and what it means for the National Federation of the Blind. And it came to mind that this isn't the first challenge that our federation has faced. Think about it. We formed the National Federation of the Blind in November of 1940. Imagine the world back then. The Federation and the country were just emerging from the Great Depression. Soon after the Federation was founded, we were plunged into World War II. And then after World War II in the 50s, you had the Korean War, you had the beginning of the civil rights movement in our country. And then as you got into the 60s, you had the Vietnam War, the Vietnam conflict, you had growing civil unrest and strife. And we even in the Federation had our own civil war. The 1970s brought great economic upheaval. We faced an impeachment battle over President Nixon, which stressed this country greatly. Energy prices went out of control. There was great turbulence also in the 1980s and 1990s. As we greeted the new millennium, we found ourselves in an election crisis where 9 men and women would decide who would become president of the United States of America. And shortly after that, the towers fell and we lost thousands. Soon thereafter, we got involved in wars in Afghanistan and in Iraq. And the Afghanistan war is still going on yet today. The economy failed, got hot again, failed again, got hot again, and failed. And then we come to 2020. And the first thing that happened this year was another presidential impeachment, which seemed like it was going to tear apart the very fabric of our democracy and politics. But little did we know, there was a particle that measures in micrometers that would attack us viciously, and so far has taken over 230,000 of our friends, family, and colleagues. And unfortunately, among that number are many Federationists. That level of strife, that level of disruption is more than sufficient for an entire century. Yet, then we tragically met George Floyd, and the ensuing social unrest persists to this very day. So, with all of this, regardless of your political perspective, regardless of your views on all these events, I think we can all agree that these events are momentous enough, distracting enough, that it could sweep aside much smaller, at least in size, much smaller social movements in our country. But as you know, that has not been the case for the National Federation of the Blind, because with love, hope, and determination, we have embraced the challenges that have faced us. We have been resilient. On a national level, we have met these challenges in many ways. We quickly shifted to the virtual realm, and we have offered thousands of hours of meetings and other offerings in the virtual space, including, of course, our national convention, which touched over 10,000 lives. And I'm proud to say that 350 plus of us registered for and participated in that national convention. We have deepened and expanded our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. And we have also secured and protected the right to vote throughout our land. We have been active in dozens of states, making sure that we can cast our ballots safely and independently and exercise that fundamental right that is part of being an American citizen. So here in Colorado, the same certainly has been true. We have met this pandemic head on, and I think have accomplished a great deal. I am proud to say that we were the first affiliate to shift to the virtual environment. On March 18th, we introduced to the country Mountain Time at 5. And at first, during the pandemic, I think it was truly a lifesaver, because none of us really knew what was ahead. It was scary what was going on. The world was shutting down for all of us. And without our sense of community, without the family spirit that we possess as a federation, it would be much more difficult to navigate our way through this pandemic. So over time, we've offered now, I think, over 60 Mountain Time at 5s, and it's not dead, it's not gone away. In fact, I suspect it will be a permanent feature of the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado. Also, we established our COVID-19 assistance program. We established both an email and a number, a voicemail, a hotline, if you will, where we offered to assist blind people with whatever tasks they could no longer achieve because of the pandemic. We took people to get groceries, their medicines, took them to the bank, helped them in many other ways. In those early days of the pandemic, we helped over 60 blind individuals in one way or another, giving them assistance they could not have gotten otherwise. That's what we do in the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado. Other ways that we address the pandemic include our response to our governor's executive orders. When they first started coming out, they were 100% inaccessible. They were scanned PDFs. You opened up your screen reader and all it said was empty document. But those executive orders, especially in the beginning, contained critically important information. So our good friend, Curtis Chong, started advocating on our behalf. And within days, those executive orders became perfectly accessible. Thank you, Curtis. The same is true for pandemic data that was presented on various county and state websites. We've been working and making sure that that data is presented accessibly. And in fact, we got some media attention about that recently. So it's good to know that the work the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado does is appreciated. Among our response to the COVID-19 pandemic is our center, our Colorado Center for the Blind. You heard the video. I don't really need to say much more. But our center acted quickly. Within a couple of weeks of the true onset of the pandemic, we shifted gears and we still kept bringing needed instruction and, maybe more importantly, social contact to our students, because even though almost all of them left and went back to their homes, we still had 7 in the apartments that we taught and trained directly. But for all the others, we met with them every single day to make sure they were doing okay and they were getting what they needed. And as Julie described in the video, we later kept expanding our programs. And I have no doubt that at some point in 2021, we will achieve our full load again. We'll be back to, quote, normal operations, whatever that means, because I believe very strongly that there will be a new normal and that we will never quite go back to the life we had before. I think the major elements we will. But for example, this very tool that we're using right now, the Zoom tool and the virtual offerings, will continue to do that in addition to what we do in person. Why? Because we've met and reached new people that we would not have met otherwise. This has been a great tool for us. Now, I don't want to be stuck on it, and I don't want to be stuck here in my basement for another 50 years, because remember, I said earlier, I'm going to live at least another 50 years. But I do want to make sure we maximize use of this tool going forward so that we reach every possible blind person out there that needs our help, that we can offer our community, our love, our support to, whether they're in Rifle, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, anywhere in Colorado. And for that matter, we're not selfish. We'll spread our love, hope, and determination all over the country, all over the world. That's what this tool can do. So I want to congratulate the CCB for what it's been able to achieve throughout this whole pandemic. It's only, in my view, it's only grounded deeper in us the values that we possess. So we have done a lot of other things in this year. I want to talk for a moment about the what we call our Preserving Our History project. And you can't talk about this project without talking about Peggy Chong, our most revered and loved blind history lady. You know, one of the greatest things in my view, and I'm biased because I've known the Chong since my first days in the National Federation of the Blind. In fact, my first day in the National Federation of the Blind. I think we were so blessed to have Curtis and Peggy move here a couple of years ago. And without asking, without any intervention on my part or anyone else's, the Chongs got busy in this affiliate and started helping us tremendously. And one of the things, just one of the things that Peggy has done is really embarked upon a project to preserve our history, to let us know what our roots are. And she's gotten quite a bit of help also from Julie Hunter, and I'd like to point out that she's been of great assistance to this program. But Peggy has found hundreds of old documents going all the way back to 1915. And now, because of Peggy's work, those documents have been all translated into digital format. But because, you know, some of them are handwriting and other images that aren't so clear, we've got to do some remedial work, and she's recruiting the volunteers to get that done. And she's also been able to get our affiliate over $10,000 for this project. So let's tip our hats virtually to the blind history lady and all that she has done for our affiliate. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love this crowd, man. We have a great crowd. Next, speaking of the Chongs, synonymous with Curtis Chong is voting. And one of the things that Curtis brought to us right away was the notion that we really needed to change our law so that we could leverage Colorado's already successful vote by mail system and leverage its potential for the blind. So we got that done, and we heard about that over the last year and a half, our success at the legislature. You heard about it yesterday from Senator Danielson. But as we've moved forward in this project, we've realized that there's more work to do. Right now, we can access our ballots electronically, and using our assistive technology, we can mark it 100% accessibly. It works really well. Now, yes, I know there have been some glitches, but Curtis stays right on top of them, and we'll get them all addressed. But what we realized, and I didn't even think about it because, you know, I'm getting older. I've always, you know, since the 1980s, I've always had a printer around one way or the other. I owned my first printer in college, okay? And so I've always had a printer around. It seemed like a staple of life to me. Of course, you've got to have a computer printer. Well, what we've realized is not everybody does anymore. And so it's a real challenge. Sure, you can mark your ballot using JAWS or iOS or VoiceOver or whatever. But, you know, finding a printer to print it out and put it back in that envelope and get it to your county clerk for counting is really difficult. So we're going to go to the legislature because the way that we structured our first law, the Senate Bill 19-202, which became our voting law, it really does refer to vote by mail, and consequently, we really need to change that so that we can enjoy a secure way to return a ballot electronically. Currently, under Colorado law, military and overseas voters who are residents of Colorado can vote this way. They can fax their ballot back in, they can email it, they can go onto an online secure portal and upload their ballot. So why shouldn't we be able to do that too? And I think, given the responses we heard from Jesse Danielson yesterday and Secretary of State Jena Griswold, I think we got a decent shot of accomplishing that. And of course, once the National Federation of the Blind sets its mind on something, it usually accomplishes it. I want to talk a moment about a real challenge that we have. And you heard it on display yesterday. Our relationship with the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. And it's easy to get carried away in the emotion of what is going on. But I try very hard to be as objective and as fair as I can be. So in that spirit, I do believe CDLE has done a good job in some areas. I think on balance, the Blindness Low Vision Service Unit is headed in the right direction in terms of increasing employment for blind Coloradans. I think the program is considering the future appropriately and knows that we have to continue to innovate so that we can break down our employment barriers. But there are, of course, troubling concerns that we have with the department. The way that the program, the agency is conducting our Randolph Shepherd program, our business enterprise program, is right now inexcusable. This is a program for our blind vendors. That is who it is supposed to benefit. But right now, our CDLE is not honoring its commitments under law to take the beliefs, the opinions, the direction of our elected blind operators, failing to take those into consideration and allow them to help direct the program, which is their right under law. And there are other issues we need to address with respect to CDLE. But I know that we will, in fact, get the job done. We are determined. We know what our rights are. We are organized, and we will, in fact, change CDLE so it really is responsive to the needs, hopes, and dreams of our blind vendors. We have also been incredibly active in the area of education on many fronts. First, I want to salute and highlight the work of Michelle Chacon. Michelle, over the last year, has been leading us in a project to explore what the future of education is for blind children in Colorado. We don't know quite yet what we're going to do. We've talked about establishing a charter school, talked about changing that to a private school. We've talked about starting off with various online offerings and acting as a support to local school districts. We're still very much in the exploratory phases, but there is one thing we do in fact know. We know that we are going to change education for blind children in the state of Colorado and all over the place. So I want to thank you, Michelle, and Amira Lucas, and my wife Anahit, and Martin Becerra, and Kevin Worley, and Jessica Beecham. And anytime you start rattling off a list of names, you get yourself into trouble. But I want to thank everybody who's been involved with what we've called CSI, the Charter School Initiative, but it's taken so many different directions. I'm not sure what we're calling it now, but again, thank you, Michelle. Let's give it up for Michelle, Curtis. How about that? All right. Another example of our resilience and the ability to shift gears is our 6-dot dash, right? And so, Curtis, if in a second, I was going to mention this to you earlier, but you're so good. Why don't you cue up the 2 30-second commercials we have with Comcast, and I'll talk about the 6-dot dash for a minute, and then I'll have you play those commercials. But we had to shift gears and change our 6-dot dash, which would have occurred in the spring, to a virtual event. We were hoping at first, the first thing we did was just simply change the dates to the fall, thinking that, certainly by October, we'd be able to do the 6-dot dash in person. Well, you know what happened with that. So we decided, hey, let's make it a virtual 6-dot dash, and it would allow for the possibility of us to have Federationists, friends, family from all over participate in our 6-dot dash. And that's exactly what's happening this afternoon. I'm going to give the 6-dot dash team a little time to explain it and give people the information again. So I won't spend a lot of time on that. But one of the great things that's come out of our 6-dot dash efforts is our relationship, or we've already had a relationship with Comcast, but it's only strengthened and it has expanded. And one of the things that Comcast has done is give us free time on their networks, social networks, their cable network, to advertise the 6-dot dash and to advertise our center. Right now on the Comcast system, they are playing our 6-dot dash commercial. And do you have that, Curtis, lined up, ready to go? We'll see if we can get that.
We are the National Federation of the Blind Colorado Center. We are parents, athletes, seniors, students, teachers, business owners, and more. And we know that blindness is not the characteristic that defines us or our future. Partner with us and register to walk, run, or roll virtually between October 1st and November 8th at 6dotdashco.com. 6, spell out dotdashco.com.
All right, so that's a great little ad, and at some point we'll get somebody to provide you all the visuals that we have in the ad, but we won't take time for that right now. after our 6.dash is over, in other words, after November 8th, we will have just sort of a general advertisement about the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado playing on Comcast, and it will sound and look like.
The National Federation of the Blind, Colorado Center, knows that blindness is not the characteristic that defines us or our future. Together with love, hope, and determination, we transform dreams into reality. Join us, nfbco.org, 303-778-1130. You can live the life you want.
Thank you so much, Curtis. And so we can look forward to that ad coming on board. And once again, I want to thank Comcast and all of our other sponsors for making our 6.dash a success. And I want to thank the whole team of our members, Cody Bear, Maureen Neatfeld, Jessica Beecham, Kevin Worley, and on, Eileen Gallegos, Paul Sandoval. There's all kinds of people working on the 6.dash. Thank you so much. We've expanded, as I say, on a national level, our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. We've done that same thing here in Colorado. We started a committee, as you know, over a year ago, actually pretty much a year ago at our state convention. Darian Smith has been leading that effort, and Monique Melton has been helping. We're starting, monthly calls for our diversity committee. We've asked for representatives from each chapter. We're offering a diversity corner every month. We are really expanding and strengthening our commitment to diversity and inclusion. And I think we've done a decent job over the years of trying to include as many people as we can. If you look at our board of directors, if you look at other aspects of our federation, we're a diverse crowd. However, that doesn't mean we should be happy or satisfied with what we have, because there are people we haven't reached. There are people even within our family who have not always felt that their voice has been listened to. And we're going to redouble our efforts in the area of equity, diversity, and inclusion. It's a part of who we need to be. And so please be on alert for the efforts of our Diversity and Inclusion Committee over the coming year, and make sure you participate, because we all have a stake in that. One of these times I'm going to sort of tell my story in this area. It's something that I'd really never thought about a lot, because I had just assumed I knew what it was like to be marginalized and excluded from participation because of my blindness. But there are intersectionalities between those of us who are white and all the other diverse characteristics, and we've got to think about that and make sure that we are proactive in that area, because implicit bias in particular does great harm. Anyway, that's a topic we will explore a little bit more fully this afternoon when we have Darian Smith as part of our agenda, when he tells you about what's going on in this area. So I need to wrap up, but I can't stop without saying thank you, as I do every year. We're a federation family, but of course we all have our own families, and there's no exception here. The LaBars are so supportive of the NFB. Anna Heat does so much for our affiliate, a lot of which folks really don't know about. But without her, without Alexander and Emily, and Mocha now, without my family, I certainly couldn't be as active as I am in the National Federation of the Blind. So thank you, LaBars. I want to thank our board. We've got the greatest board of directors anywhere in the Federation. I don't care, John Perret, about Maryland. I don't care, Tim Elder, about California or any of these other states. We have the best NFBCO board of directors, the best state board of directors there is. So thank you, officers and board members, for your support. And then lastly, well, no, I'm not quite there yet. I have to thank Lisa Vondersen. Lisa is an incredible person in so many ways. She has been so loyal, so thoughtful, so dependable in so many ways. And she really has helped us out tremendously in the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado. So thank you, Lisa. She's worked for us since I became president in 2005. So it doesn't seem like it's that long, but it really has been that long. So thank you, Lisa. Let's give it up for Lisa, Curtis. Thank you. And I was also going to talk about project literacy, but I got Kevin on this afternoon to do that. So we'll talk about project literacy a little bit this afternoon. Things like Newsline, the Bell program, our scholarship program. We'll talk about all of that and have been talking about all of that. And I also want to thank Amira Lucas for getting our parents division started up again. That's just so important, and we really appreciate everything you've done, Amira. And you know, I wrote out this really nice long conclusion, but I'm not gonna read it. I think, you know, the most appropriate thing I can say is, you know, what I have come to value so much with our federation and the work that we do in the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado is our resilience, our way of meeting the challenge, and not only meeting the challenge and keeping everything the same, but improving ourselves, strengthening our movement, growing. We've been able to do that during this pandemic. So I'm just so proud, so honored, so privileged to be your president. And I look forward to the work that we're going to do in the coming year. It's going to be a big year. We're going to make a transition next year. That is our plan. And we've got a lot of challenges we need to meet. We need to meet the CDLE challenge. We need to continue to be successful during this pandemic. We need to crack the employment barriers and educational barriers that we still face. But I know that we will get it done. And thank you so much for giving me the honor and privilege to be your president. I love all of you so much. That is my report. All right. How about a door prize, Mo?
All right. Let's give away $50 from our Aurora chapter. And thank you to all of our chapters and divisions and everybody that we've gotten door prizes from. Kevin's right. Stay tuned. There's going to be some nice door prizes at
Am I unmuted?
Wait. Let's give that to Susie DeMello.
Susie DeMello, are you out there, Susie? Raise your hand, unmute yourself, jump up and down. I don't know who Susie is.
I'm not seeing her.
Okay.
All right. What about Joe Pinto?
Ah, Joe Elizabeth Pinto, are you there? Joe. Oh no, Joe.
Oh no, Joe.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
I don't see her.
Oh, Joe.
All right.
Try again.
Try Darian Smith.
Yay, Darian. Are you here? Darian.
Might be at work.
Not seeing him.
I'm not seeing him.
All right, Darian.
But thanks to stars,
oh boy. What about Jacob Allmeyer?
Jacob Allmeyer, one of our students, was starring in that video. Jacob?
No.
Jacob.
Oh, he's at the center.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he's at the center there in one of the pods. But we got to hear him. We got to know that he's in the pod. He's one of the peas in the pod.
while the other monster trucks are far away.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Julie? Is he out there? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
CCB raised their hand.
Oh, all
Unmute
right,
yourself,
CCB.
CCB.
Yes, CCB, talk to us. You're on the air.
Turn down your radio.
They're unmuted.
5, 4, 3,
You're unmuted.
2, 1.
They just muted
Hello?
by accident. So
CCB? I think we're going to have to move on.
all right, CCB, you're unmuted.
Okay.
No, they got muted back again. Ha!
Well,
Okay.
tell you what, Mo, we're going to put that on. If they can, if this is a technical issue, then we'll work
Okay,
it out.
CCB.
What's that?
All right, talk CCB.
Nothing. We hear they're unmuted, but nothing.
I think they're trying. So let's see what happens. Kevin, let's do our poll.
All right, the poll is live. What is your favorite program at the Colorado Center for the Blind? Press 1 for the Independence Training Program, ITP, 2 for the Youth Program, or 3 for the Seniors Program. And that phone number is 719-496-8738.
I'm going to vote here. Let me try this. Call NFB vote. We'll give people
We
time.
have Jacob.
We do?
He has responded to the helpline for the door prize.
Good. I was gonna tell him to do that. I got a text from the center that said they, in that pod, they didn't have access to raising their hand and stuff. So
Thanks for taking part in our poll.
Okay, I just voted. How are we doing on the voting, Kevin?
All right, we have got 27 votes.
We'll keep that poll in open for a moment. I know we're running behind time, folks. I'm sorry about that, but there's so many good things to do.
34.
What's that?
35.
Oh, okay. Keep going, folks. Keep voting. We'll keep the poll open while Marianne, very quickly, Marianne, does an auction item.
I have the perfect 6-dash auction item. It is number 8. It is a classic brailer. There's nothing that says the NFB better than a 6-dot making brailer. So
I agree.
That's right. We have done some research and found out that the value of a classic brailer these days is about $400.
Well, then I'm
And
gonna
I
start
have
out
one
at
of these
100.
suckers sitting on my desk, and it's 40 years old, and it's still ticking along
I
absolutely
know they are
perfectly.
amazing.
You
I'll start
can't
out at
kill this
100.
thing. We are going to start this out at 100.
All right. So $100. So let's go
I'll
up
tell
to
you what, if
150.
anybody wants in on this one, just unmute yourself. Let's just have a friendly bid right to start with. So
150 right here.
150 from Labar. Let's give people a moment to unmute.
Gary, 155.
Oh, come on.
We like round
175.
numbers.
It's a round number.
It is a
175.
round number.
Did you hear me, Marianne?
I did, 175.
All right, good. It's mine.
Van Dorn, 200.
No, 225.
Van Dorn, 250.
Labar, 275.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
Come on, Kevin, outbid us.
I'm hearing 275 right now.
Anybody else want a brailer?
Van Dorn, 280.
Jesse Lorenz, 285.
Woo! Jesse,
Oh man,
welcome.
I really need this, you guys. I'm telling you, I really do. 290.
290. Oh, that was cool.
Ouch.
Come on, Scott, make it higher.
290. He's got 290. He put it up there. I see 290 from Labar.
No, that's from Worley, actually.
That's Worley's at 290.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Sorry,
Jesse.
the feedback kind of drove me crazy for a moment there. 290 going once.
Show it.
Eliza, 300.
Woo! The Braille
The Queen of
teacher.
Braille.
The Braille teacher comes in with the big bodacious 300.
300. I hear 300 going once.
I'm out.
I'm out too. My wife.
300 twice.
Come on, Lawrence.
Sold to Eliza.
All right, so let's close the poll, Kevin, and see who won.
All right, poll is down. We had 39 votes, 20 for the ITP, 7 for the youth, and 12 for the seniors.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Kevin. Let's see, what other business do we need to conduct before closing the morning session? I don't have any other notes myself, so I think we will adjourn the...
Just a quick moment, if you will. Eliza, what did you register as your last name so I can find you? If you can unmute for a second and let me know.
Well, let's do this, Marianne, because we don't have her.
I mean, I do. I have her husband. I can probably find her that way.
Track her down.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll
All right,
find
I
you.
will.
You know what, Marianne? We know where she lives, and we know
We
where
do. At least we know how to find her every day.
Yep. So
During
no
the
problem
lunch
there.
break, folks should go. We still have another week of the NFBCO Comcast 6 Dash. You can get your miles up. We need your $30. You can do your fundraising. You can have a team. We still have a week, folks.
Yes, indeed. So we will stand adjourned until 1:30. Thank you, everybody.
Can we just leave our computers turned on to this Zoom link, or do I have to re-enter to get back in at 1:30?
No, you. I don't think Paul or Curtis have any plans of taking it down. Do you?
No.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm going to take down the YouTube feed temporarily to change the name, but then I'll put it right back up.
Sure. Well, that does. Yeah. Okay. No, you can just stay right in the room. Was that Scott who I heard?
Yeah, that was Mr. Marcotte.
Oh, Scott. Right. He's got a great name.
Hey guys, it's JJ. I was just curious if the talent show is on YouTube yet.
It should be.
It is. My wife saw it, and then for some reason it disappeared. I've been seeing that behavior just for the first 12 hours, and then it should be up there permanently.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have noticed is you want to make sure once you get into the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado website on YouTube, you want to make sure you are under videos and not under home.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
So JJ, what are you going to have for lunch?
I don't know. I think I've got an ear infection, so I'm probably going to take a nap, actually.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
What time are we starting up again?
1:30, sir.
1:30. Gotcha.
I could not hear those spots, Curtis. I guess everyone else could, but that was so weird.
Oh, were you on your iPhone?
Were you on your iPhone?
Yeah.
Did you lock it by any chance?
Did I what?
Did you lock the phone by any chance?
Oh, it may have
Yes,
locked.
if your phone locks, you can't hear audio like that.
Well,
you kind of have to leave it unlocked with your screen
If you leave Zoom, you can't hear audio at all.
Right,
You
exactly.
have to stay in Zoom.
No. I was on the Zoom link. I mean, I was on.
So
the
it
Zoom.
works. What it is
All right, well-
is if you lock your screen and somebody is screen sharing, the audio for the screen sharing itself is closed out.
And a lot of people have their iPhones set to lock automatically after 1 minute or 5 minutes. And even though the meeting itself you'll hear when the phone is locked, if an audio sharing happens, that's
I'll
for
fix
some
that, then. I
god
can go
awful
fix-
reason. Yeah, change your auto lock to never.
Yeah,
That will
yeah.
take care of
Yeah,
that.
I can fix that.
That's interesting.
Even I can do that, Paul. Even I.
Even I.
Yeah, I know you can, Kevin.
I doubt
Sean,
it, Kevin. I'm not confident yet.
Well, Curtis, I'll tell you what, I've learned not to bet against you. So,
But you'll get but you're good at finding somebody who will get you.
oh yeah.
what
So,
you
well, I
want.
was just going to say, Sean, I got to call her next week to schedule a multi-hour appointment with my
I mean,
man.
seriously, this is a skill. The ability to get others to get to you to do, to help you do something. That
Oh
you
God.
don't-
Oh, when I was young, I was afraid to ask for help. Now, man, I go to you guys. Whoever has the answer, I don't care. I'm not.
Hold on.
It's false
When you were
pride.
young, that was a long time ago. Hey guys, this is Wayne Marshall.
Hi.
Hey,
what's up?
Hey, Wayne.
What's going
Hey,
on, sir?
I'm enjoying listening to you guys. I've been registered with the convention and enjoying checking it out from here.
Yeah, come on. When y'all coming back there,
Miss
Wayne?
you,
Come on.
Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back, and where I'll be at the center and check you guys all out.
I'll tell you what, I sure miss you, Walter.
Aw.
Isn't that Wayne?
Hey, that's
Wayne.
That's my St. Louis homie right there. Yeah.
There you go.
Stay safe, Mr. Wayne. Good to hear from you.
You guys all stay safe and have a good convention. I'll be listening in.
Is your convention? Isn't your convention next weekend, Wayne? Or the weekend after
yes.
that? Yeah.
No, this next week. Yeah.
All right. Have you gotten in on any of the training that we're providing for Georgia?
I have.
Okay.
I have
cool.
listened in.
Okay, good. Cool.
Yep, it's all good. It's great.
It's a.
Scott, by the way, I had pizza for breakfast.
Thanks, Wayne.
What kind of pizza?
Oh, sorry, Wayne.
It's probably kale on the pizza.
No, thank you. It was meat lovers.
Ooh, that's
no
the only kind of
no
pizza.
pineapple. I hope that does not
that's-
belong on a pizza.
I had pineapple earlier this week.
Oh, okay.
On
I
a
love me
pizza or
some
by
pineapple
itself?
on pizza.
Oh no, thanks. No.
No, it does not belong on a pizza.
You can
Yeah,
have that.
that's kind of gross.
Yeah,
you agree,
can keep
Curtis?
that.
No good
I
for the
do.
pineapple?
No, it's no good for the pineapple.
Absolutely.
Well, you
Or the
guys are no
pizza, for that
fun.
matter. Oh, come on. What's your name? The pizza lady?
This is JJ Aragon.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize your voice. Sorry. Okay. Hey.
Who's that?
David. Last name
and-
Dunphy.
Yeah. and Curtis
Oh,
Chong.
hey.
Curtis,
Yeah,
I
okay.
had, and Scott, I had on the convention list for the banquet list the spots. So we don't have to play the spots since we've already played them. We can take those off that list. Scott, I don't know if you've shared the stuff with Curtis and Paul. I'll make sure we get that shared. so they
Kevin's
know
running
what-
the audio and the video tonight.
Is he? Okay.
He said the internet up there is good enough.
Okay.
And so
Okay, then
Paul's
he's
gonna
already
set
got-
up multiple screen shares so that I can share and I can share my
Okay.
audio and Kevin can share a screen and so
Okay,
we'll
good,
be
because they've got the list of stuff that I want or
Okay.
that we want. Unless Scott adds something, I'll talk to Scott
That'll
between
work. You know,
now and
the
then.
thing about Zoom is it does not share the Microsoft TV and movie window by itself, which is weird. So you have to show when you're playing a movie file or anything like that, you have to share the entire screen, which is annoying.
Can you do
Mr.
can you
Todd,
do full screen on the
Yes.
on the movie? Okay.
I have a question for you, Mr. Chong.
Yes, sir.
If I forward a text to you with a link to an MP3 file, can you get it?
Yes.
And use it. I have the packs, the little pack.
Oh
intro.
yeah, give me that. Send me that link.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And I'll have
I
that.
also,
can grab it.
I also want that vote song. We need to highlight that more. That's great.
You want me to
Mhm.
send you the file? It's not that big.
No. I want to be able to play it at the banquet.
Oh!
not?
I'll get a link to that to Kev. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And should I tell Kev who to look for? Like I got people that I want to recognize. Should I give that to Kevin or Paul to pull up on the Zoom?
Either one. Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin. I mean, yeah. Kevin will be a co-host, so he can do a lot.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, so let
Because
me
I
get
just
to
wanna
the
make
vote
sure.
song while I'm at it here.
So we're going to be looking for Pete Lee and Nancy Benham when they come in to,
right.
So, Kev or Scott, have you worked on our deal with Dennis?
No.
Okay. Do you want to reach out there or skip it?
Yeah, I need to figure that
I think
out.
we should do it.
All right, lovelies. I'm gonna head out and try to get this.
But remember,
pain
they're
under
an hour
control.
ahead of us,
Good
Scott.
to see you, JJ, again.
Right.
You too, David.
So we'd have to do it probably early,
Right.
depending on when they do their. Yeah.
That CCB video was epic. That was cool.
Where the heck are you?
I don't know if it was epic, but it was pretty good.
Well, I liked it. How's it going, Kevin? How have you been?
I mean,
How's everything
epic
going?
is pretty epic. I don't know, David.
Well, I liked
Epic.
it. So
I thought it was
I'm down
epic.
with that.
I think it was epic.
EPIQU.
It was epically awesome. Like they did it. It was really cool hearing all the different students and such. It was different. It was nice.
It's
Either that or just
It
reminded me how
was-
much I miss
it was
y'all out
great.
there. One of the two, but either way.
all right. I'm
It
going
was
to clean the kitchen.
it was great, and greetings from sunny Seattle.
Who's
There's Marcy.
Oh,
Marcy
Marcy.
Carpenter.
Oh, hi, Marcy.
Come home. Come home, Marcy.
Finally put a voice to the name.
I
Come
know
home.
I have to get back there sometime.
I need to live.
Okay, I'm going to.
No.
Yeah.
Seattle is home.
Oh, good
Marcy,
Lord.
it's nice to put a voice
Hey.
to the name. It's David. How you doing?
Nice to meet you too, David.
Yeah.
Marcy, is it raining out there?
No, it is sunny. It's
Oh,
in the
please.
50s.
Oh, I'll ask you. All right, I'll ask you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
It's cold here. I still think it was incredible watching Colorado go from 91 degrees to snow in 24 hours. That was impressive.
Oh, I remember a day like that back in early 90s or something.
There's bipolar weather, and then there's just crashing out of the sky. And I think
Yeah.
that pretty much sums it up.
Curtis, are you there?
I don't think so. Or he muted.
It was so great to hear Diane.
I think he left, Scott. So is Washington having a convention, Marcy?
Yes, next weekend.
Oh my goodness, more stuff to go to.
Curtis Chong is going to be on our agenda briefly.
Oh, sweet. Does your website have all the info and the agenda stuff yet for it? If I want to take a look.
It just has the basics. We're putting the agenda up there in the next day or so.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll be in the agenda. We'll have all the Zoom links, and yeah.
Oh, I may have to drop by and say hello.
Great.
Since y'all are 3 hours behind me, it'll be a late night, but it'll be all right.
Nope. Seattle is. We're 1 hour earlier.
I'm Eastern, though. I'm not actually in Denver.
Oh, okay.
Currently, I'm in New York presently.
Okay.
So
right. That's right.
It is 3
right.
hours.
So
I want to be back in Colorado as soon as possible. I miss it. But
and Jim Gassel is our national representative.
Oh, sweet. So. Okay, cool. He's good. That's good.
I did not vote, by the way, guys. I did not vote in the Broncos Chargers poll.
No, because the Chargers. Because the
Seattle
Chargers are going
Seahawks.
to. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was like, because the Seattle Seahawks are going to go all the way.
Well, and the Chargers are going to decapitate the Broncos. It's not even going to be close. I don't know what anybody's talking about. I don't. Denver's not very good. Neither's my team though. So my team is not won a game yet. So I mean, we lost to Denver's third string quarterback. So yeah, we're bad. My team, the Jets, they're really bad.
All right. Well, I'm gonna log off here. I'll be back for the afternoon session.
All right. Nice to meet you again. I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget, it's still not too late to register for the NFB Comcast 6. Dash. Do it today. Don't delay. Go to www.nfbco.org. Right under our big convention button, there's a register for the 6. Dash button. I've got 68 miles this month. So register and join one of the teams, like the Doggers, for example.